Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's finale episode of Season 5. We have finally gone full circle from beginning to end, and we are now going to be presenting the awards for some of the best, some of the worst, and some of the what the fuck moments of the GAP during Season 5. That will be recounting episodes through from EP 49 through to today, along with any After Darks and bits and pieces. But don't worry, in case I forget anything in terms of episode numbers, specific moments, and whatnot, I will also have my trusted partner and confidant in crime, Jason. So, you got anything to say before we want to roll on with today's episode?
So, Will, you speak into the mic, right? That's how it goes? I don't remember.
You would have thought that by we close. We have if you include the After Darks and BPs, we have close to 100 episodes.
It's funny that you mentioned that. You might want to,
Yeah. So,
anyways,
no,
I'm doing good.
We don't need to go into any disclaimers or whatnot because by now you would have, understood how we go about doing this particular episode.
And by now, I should have probably uploaded a bunch of those disclaimers and definitions on the website. But,
Yeah. So nothing changes. It's still going to be the same format, same awards, though there may be one or two down the line that we may change. But for now, we're going to keep things as is. What we're not going to be keeping in line, though, is that in the previous episodes, speaking of the finale, Jason and I would essentially inebriate ourselves with copious amounts of sake. This time around, we decided, you know what? It's really, really fucking hot. Why don't we get some nice ice-cold carbonated mixers from the good folks at 7-Eleven Premium. We're going to be drinking some strong sour, which is vodka mixed with grapefruit soda.
It says strong vodka with soda plus grapefruit.
Yeah.
Emphasis on the strong, I guess. Yo,
cheers.
Kanpai. So, yeah, we are breaking tradition.
But it's for good reason. It's extremely hot today. I mean...
I just spilled everything.
Wow. Off to a good start already.
Yeah, I'm not even drunk. Just clumsy.
So, to kick things off, you just go straight into it, or do you have anything you want to say before we get into today's topic? Because, as we always do, we try and aim for 2 hours, usually end up at 3. Who knows where it's going to be?
Exactly, right? We are guaranteed to get drunk, and hopefully you guys can, if you are of legal age to drink, which you should be, I guess, you should drink with us, enjoy the podcast, but please drink responsibly and all the above. Don't drink or drive unless if it's within the limit. And even then, always practice, safe drinking, driving practices.
Yeah, as in don't drink and drive at all. Don't drink and drive. Don't
unless
drive.
It's water.
Yeah.
And then or soda. I mean, even soda is a bad thing, right?
Just don't drink too much soda. So we're going to kick things off in terms of how we're going to split things up again. First half, we're going to be doing the serious-ish awards, which should be kind of akin to a lot of the anime and manga awards that you're familiar with. And then the second half will be a more proprietary kind of shits and giggles GAP twist on certain awards and things that we want to commemorate from the past season. So to kick things off, the first award that we have will be the favorite seasonal anime from Season 5. So these were, of course, in terms of the two seasonals that we had, would have been Winter 2023 and Spring 2023.
Yeah, basically anything that we talk about, as Will mentioned from episode 49, is essentially the past 6 months up till now. So any anime, manga we mention is fair game. So that's it.
And it's not required for us to have finished it, but of course if we did finish it, then it would probably make a stronger case for us to pick it as an award.
I mean, generally we try to do our due diligence as well, right? So
yep. So would you like to start? Yeah. I've got 2 runner-ups and I've got 1 winner for this award. Mm-hmm. What do you got for yourself?
My runner-up is the highest rated anime for Spring 2023's Oshinoko.
Okay. And
that's my runner-up.
And that was your runner-up.
That's correct.
All right. Well, the fact that it was in even your top 2 is already pretty prestigious. So I mean, outside of course, the fantastic hour. Was it an hour and a half, the first episode?
Yeah,
outside of the opening episode, what else was there that basically led you to have it cemented in your top 2?
I think Doga Kobo did an extremely good job in many ways. The first off is obviously the premiere episode of 90 minutes, because initially when Will and I read the manga, the part where episode 1 ended was actually 5-6 episodes worth almost.
Yeah, I mean,
even if you exclude
if you break it down, right? You take out the breaks, you take out the
OPED,
then it would be around roughly 6 episodes.
Yeah, so we were worried.
Which is pretty much almost a volume's worth of. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were worried about, the runtime of 11 episode counts, because they didn't even tell you that the first episode was 90 minutes right away. It was only announced slightly later. So we were worried at 11 episodes. Doga Kobo is not the most prestigious, outstanding animation studio, but it's nothing to scoff at either.
I think it's just the fact that they were pretty consistent in that they made a good number of 7s, but then more recently with some of for example, Shikimori is not just a cutie. That really did put a damper on their track record. Not to say that the anime was bad per se. I didn't watch anything beyond episode 1. I think it's just that it came out at a bad time. There may have been some complaints from some fans, and a lot of times whenever you have people who are reaching out for Dress Up Darling, they're gonna do whatever they can to try and bombard the ranking for Shikimori's not just a cutie.
Yeah,
it's the diehards, right?
Yeah,
it's the Sims and the fans,
and that's how I really like the manga. So it kind of sucks that it kind of received that way, but I also understand it to a certain extent.
Do you think that Oshinoko then restored your faith in Doga Kobo, or was the faith always there?
The faith was always there, but was met with hesitation before Oshinoko. I don't think we will know for sure whether or not it is they're now good to go for the rest of time, but it's just the production, the animation for even Shikimori is always top notch.
I didn't even have Oshinoko in my top 3.
Ah.
And it's not to say that it was a bad series. I mean, the fact that we had I think total almost 90 seasonals come out over the past 2 seasons. We can do a breakdown at some point. But I mean, I very much enjoyed Oshinoko. I think the only thing that kind of held me back from putting it in the top 3, or just having it in this particular award category, was that it didn't seem to have as much of that sort of suspense thriller atmosphere that I had from reading the manga.
Do you think it's because you read the manga?
That's probably what it is too. I mean, but you also read the manga too, and I don't think it swayed you as much. Right? I think you still were as impartial as could be. Having already read the source material, you still gave the anime itself a fair chance, and that's probably why you gave it a runner-up award.
I think anybody should not be faulted when they read the source material to then therefore judge, because I know what happens, it's that is kind of a damper in that, because you won't be surprised.
Yeah.
So I tried my best to ignore that facet just because I know what's going on.
Yep.
But everything else, awesome. Even the OP, great. ED, great.
The second runner-up that I had, so technically third place on the podium, was Heavenly Delusion. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Action-packed, plenty of suspense, a lot of really what the fuck moments, and in the sense of what the hell is going on, also what the hell is that. Again, it's one of those things where you literally cannot say anything because spoilers are extremely, extremely impactful on this particular series. If you haven't started watching it, go get on it. It's fucking awesome. The voice acting is good. The animation quality is great. I mean, it's production
IG,
yeah.
Right? I do not know what I did wrong to Disney, but I'm really sorry. I'm ignoring Summertime Render and Heavenly Delusions. Whoever decided to pick those 2 as their exclusive streaming platform releases deserves a medal.
I mean, you're definitely showing your allegiance to High Dive with Oshinoko.
Yes, but still, Disney, come on, that's 2 bangers, 2 for 2.
You're gonna be thinking if you're gonna do a third suspense thriller with some sort of weird time manipulation,
there needs to
fuckery,
be,
right?
Yeah, there needs to be something.
Imagine if actually they managed to finally fix up Promised Neverland and actually get it good again. Because holy crap, that second season was atrocious.
I don't think they'll get a third season.
Dude, I mean, Shield Hero got a third season.
No, because they announced it from the get-go.
Yeah, I think that was just, lack of foresight. The second runner-up, no, the first runner-up that I had. So in second place was the lovely, fluffy Skip and Loafer.
Oh shit.
I mean, like, this is where it was a little bit different for me because we reviewed it for our ASAP 2. So Oshinoko also featured in that particular episode. But I think the thing was, we featured it in the previous episode in ASAP 1. I think the reason why though that I gave the nod to Skip and Loafer as opposed to Oshinoko was that, well, one, was a little bit more fresh in my memory, but two, having the extra voice acting, music, color palettes, animation all meld in super nicely to create a very warm and fluffy atmosphere through watching this anime. Oh god, I mean, I'm not finished with it yet. I think I'm about halfway. Definitely been slacking with the anime recently, but nonetheless, I think the whole time I was watching it, it was always just that, like, you mentioned it as well. It's like if they don't do the sound design right, that could make or break this particular series, and thank God they actually nailed it. So that's why Skip and Loafer is the first runner-up, second place for me.
Okay. My winner for favorite seasonal anime from Season 5 is not Skip and Loafer. It is from Winter 2023, Buddy Daddies.
Really?
It's so good, dude.
You actually finished it?
I finished it.
Wow.
At like 2 a.m. this morning.
That certainly is a surprise. Because I don't think that, I mean, you definitely were pretty positive about it because we were watching the first 2 episodes like separately, but we definitely watched like a couple episodes. And it wasn't like you were super ecstatic, but you were definitely like giving it some glowing praise. So
final score 9 out of 10.
So wow. I think in the beginning you were very much like, is it 7.5? Could be an 8, could be a 7. But the fact that you jumped straight to a 9.
Yeah, I think it would have been a solid 8. Like if my gut reaction at that time, I think I said something like an 8, but I didn't. I think I said something along the lines of, I don't think you'll get anything beyond that. But
so what changed? I mean, like, spoiler free, of course, but like, what changed for you in terms of like your feelings about Buddy Daddies?
The first thing was the production. PA Works does a phenomenal job with all of their adaptations. To kind of, actually, it's not really an adaptation because they're all original. The ones that I'm thinking of, like Shirobako is an original, Akito original,
Coming.
Buddy Daddies.
Well, Coming
is manga, but
who did? Wait, did was it Akiba Mate Wars also PA Works?
yes, and that was original. So their production animation quality did not stutter throughout the whole run. And it's an original story. Okay, it's not like an original premise, but it's an original story. Everything about it is very much reminds me of like Kindergarten Cop, like when Adam Sandler Golden Age, but now there's a kid involved. I mean, I guess was that the
Mr. Deeds?
Mr. Deeds. I mean, like, and the jazz soundtrack. It will. I will mention that again. Basically,
I think anytime there's a little bit of jazz in the soundtrack, it kind of gives you an extra like it gives extra
like Great Pretender
extra
vibes?
like 0.25. Great Pretender was really good for the music.
Yeah,
story wise was kind of shit. But,
like the trumpets and everything is just like going in town. And is it like mind blowing? No, but I came out of it with a smile on my face and wishing that there could have been more. But it ended in its entirety. It's good, great. 9 out of 10.
Nice. Number 1 for me, which I still haven't really finished yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to give it the number 1 spot regardless. It's from Winter 2023 as well. Vinland Saga Season 2. What else could it have been? You know, the fact that you finally get the continuation of Thorfinn's adventure throughout the Nordic lands. Yes, this time around it's not with Studio anymore, but Mappa. I think they did fine. I think that like the sort of noticeable differences between the animation qualities of Wit Studio and Mappa we've already seen from looking at the transition from season 3 of Attack on Titan through to the final season. So I was already pretty prepared in terms of like how it's going to look aesthetically. The music is fucking nuts. I mean, you sang praises for the opening of Vinland Saga Season 2. The story is still brutal as hell, grim, cold, But it definitely, like, at the end of each episode gives you like a sign of hope, and that's something that kind of carries on throughout from season 1. That even through the darkest of times, especially for Thorfinn's story and the characters that are alongside him, that at the end of the day, there's probably going to be like a shining light at the very end of this tunnel that you can slowly but surely keep crawling towards and hopefully find salvation, find resolution, find solace, whatever it may be that he's looking for.
I have to give special props to the opening sequence and the opening song Rivers by Anonymous. It is such a good song. I listen to it quite often nowadays, and the opening credits is very psychedelic, kind of, and I just really like the whole motif of it. It's just great. I need to get onto it and finish, maybe beyond episode 2. Essentially, my bad.
Of season 2, right? Because I think you finished season 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, you're pretty much like you're not that far off.
Yeah, I think it was either my runner up or my winner for best anime of last season.
Yep. I mean, it was really damn good. So
last podcast season, to be clear.
Yeah, so that was season 4. Now, on to the next award, which is our favorite backlog anime of season 5. So, outside of seasonals, this is all the shit that we talked about throughout season 5. That could have been, part of a character or a thematic analysis. It could be like a ranking, like a tier list. It could be talking about specific archetypes of genres and whatnot. Doesn't really matter as long as it's an anime series that we have talked about in
that
season
is
5.
not currently airing.
Yeah.
That's the distinction.
Yeah, so basically no seasonals, or anything that's like a long continuing thing. So sorry, One Piece fans, we will not be talking about One Piece today.
But Crunchyroll Best Continuing Series Award goes to...
Yeah, pat yourselves on the back. So I only got one flat out winner.
Oh,
for
no
this.
contest. Holy shit. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about it for a very, very long time, and then I stopped talking about it for a very, very long time. Picked it back up again. It's not Aowashi. Just because as much as I loved Aowashi, it still did not hold any light towards what I considered probably like one of my most favorite animes I've watched in the past year.
Holy shit.
Summertime Render.
Oh, fuck.
Holy... I think I gave it a 10 out of 10. If not a 10, definitely a 9.
One side note, I think we did talk about it, but one thing that I found that was surprising was it was a complete adaptation. I legit, for the longest time, based on like 13 volumes, I didn't read any of it, but just the number, I thought, oh, they need another double cur.
They got rid of a lot of conversation, exposition, and definitely jam-packed a lot of action into like 1 or 2 episodes every so often.
And if you were to tell me that, I would be very hesitant when the premise of the show is like shrouded in mystery.
But it works.
Okay.
It absolutely works.
Awesome.
I think everything was very, very seamless. A lot of twists and turns as expected from a sort of time manipulation, suspense thriller. Sometimes like kind of horrific, actually. Not horror, but definitely horrific. Kind of like edge of your seat, like hair-raising tension.
I mean, that first episode, I think the cliffhanger before the quote-unquote twist was quite brutal, came out of nowhere, and you're just like, what the fuck? Let me rewind like 10 seconds. What the hell just happened?
I think that's like kind of maybe a little asterisk point, or maybe a little kind of caveat to anyone who does want to get into Summertime Render. If you hate cliffhangers, then this is absolutely not the show for you. But then again, I think a lot of suspense thrillers probably wouldn't work for you anyway. You're not a huge fan of suspense thriller of cliffhangers.
But it's all out, so you don't have to wait week by week, right?
You can just binge all 24 episodes. I think 24 or 25. It's definitely a double cur.
It's a double cur, right? I don't know if it's 24 or 25. Okay. So, my third place, so second runner-up, I guess, goes to Gotta Watch Them All JoJo Part 4 Diamond is Unbreakable.
Yeah, baby.
I really cannot underestimate how much I really liked JoJo Part 4, and I think we deserve, in addition to what we discussed in Gotta Watch Them, I'll reiterate it here, which is a lot of my gripes with Gotta Watch Them All in terms of JoJo is just disappeared, especially even within Part 4.
Like, this is pretty much like the turning point in which you can now say, I'm thoroughly enjoying JoJo. Whereas I think like seasons 1 and 2, you definitely had some issues with. The first part of season 3, like there was still a lot of cracks, but then like going into the second half, you're like, okay, I'm vibing with it now. I'm starting to see where this is going. There's still a little bit of a few kinks here and there, but you're enjoying it. Whereas season 4 was like that. This is it. This is my jam.
And the limited, I guess, setting in terms of scale, to me, is an enhancement. And
it allows you to really focus on character development and the story
like familiarity,
as well.
right? I think one of those things is like when it's taking place in a suburban town that is kind of just there for like 2 curs, you're just like, oh, that's the same place, that's that place. Whereas all the other ones is globetrotting, which in of itself has merit, but it's just kind of the familiarity is like gone other than the characters that are involved. Now, does that mean that part 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all whatever, all have the same premise or the same style? We don't know. But as of right now, JoJo Part 4 is my most enjoyable by a mile, even though it's separated by 1 point out of 10.
Now it's still 3, like number 3 on your favorite backlog. So there's one extra runner-up, which takes second place, and then an all-out winner. What was your number 2, your first runner-up?
Anime closet cleanup, Drifters. So Drifters deserve extra mention, mainly also because it came at a time when Records of Ragnarok Season 2 is airing. So
before you go further, I think it's very telling that we've talked about this before, but the fact that I had Skip and Loafer as one of my favorites and as fluffy as it is, and then you also have edgy, crazy, wacky action as your favorites.
Oh, yeah. I have not gotten to my winner yet.
Yeah,
okay,
the tables have fully turned.
I know.
So Drifters, right. You love Super Smash Brothers, right? You love Battle Royales.
I mean, I think Super Smash Brothers is aight.
What about Power Stone?
I love Power Stone.
Power Stone is fucking amazing. I wish they made a Power Stone 3, but at the same time, I think it would also be really trash. It would have to have stayed on the Dreamcast, at most on the GameCube.
Yeah,
and even though I don't think it ever got ported.
Maybe
to the GameCube.
There's a mobile version. I think
there actually was a kind of mobile version. They actually re-released it for the PSP.
A PSP.
Yeah.
How's that relevant nowadays?
Well, it was actually fun as fuck when I was playing it, but that was literally the only game that I was playing. Oh, I also played Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core.
I loved Power Stone on the Dreamcast. It was one of the games that I would I mean, the stage. The fact that it shifts all the time, I just love it. Okay, anyways.
I mean, that's kind of also what happens in Drifters too, right? Like they're literally moving from battlefield to battlefield.
The premise of Drifters, reverse isekai of sorts, fantasy isekai. I don't even know what to call it. Battle Royale kind of thing, but it's just really good. Look, if you're gonna hear me say Drifters should have been the Records of Ragnarok in terms of style, production quality and everything, you're going to hear it again from me.
Well, we probably won't know because we haven't watched part 2 of Records of Ragnarok, and the score for it is a lot higher than it previously was. So maybe they fixed it, but I think it
features a Greek god that we kind of like a lot, and or at least hear about a lot, and an infamous person in like England somewhere, London somewhere from way back when.
Yep.
I'm trying to dance around the spoilers. But Drifters is an awesome time. The fact that they talk about crap as in like shit for like literal shit for like a good portion of one episode is just like, how the fuck can you make that work? But clearly they did. And it like legit is like a good strategy and a good narrative. But my winner is all about blood and guts. But it takes place in Akihabara. Akiba Made Wars is my winner for favorite backlog anime from season 5 of GAP. I can't even begin to tell you how dumb I really think Quentin Tarantino needs to watch this show. And probably his first thing that comes out of his mouth is like, why the fuck did I not make this show?
I mean, it's entirely possible that he makes a live-action adaptation of it. Entirely possible.
PA Works did a solid again. Original story, of course, nothing earth-shattering, nothing groundbreaking, but the sheer carnage, the sheer absurdity of it all, and to
plus
mix
the
it
use
in,
of like good comedy too,
and to mix it in with maid cafes, like what the fuck is going on? It is phenomenal. It ends on like the craziest of ways. 9 out of 10 again. I don't even know what else to say, really. Super good. So there you go. That is my winner.
On to the next award, which is the favorite manga that Hella needs an adaptation. Spoiler alert, I didn't read any manga outside of our ASAP 2, so...
I just have a no contest. Blue Box by Shonen Jump, published in English by Viz Media, Jump
You're really
Plus,
trying
Manga
to
Plus.
watch all the blues, right?
Yeah. Exact. Oh, well, not watch, read.
You read Blue Spring Ride?
No, but I watched it for cleanup.
So that works there.
Yeah, there you go. I'd not read Blue Flag. I think we went off on a bit on that. Blue Exorcist is I guess. I have never really ventured down.
It's okay. It's only okay. I think that, of course, if you're trying to like watch it nowadays, you're just going to go back to watching Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
That's basically it. But Blue Box.
One thing I like about Blue Box a lot is how quiet it is. Okay, it is a manga. Duh. No shit, Sherlock, Jason. But it is just very subdued, not a lot of dialogue, or there is a lot that is not being said in terms of like speech bubble of a manga, but there is just a lot of weight. When I mix it in with, going off of another manga that we've read or know of, Real, sports mangas seem to carry that extra bit of oomph that, at least in season 5, that to me is just like such a good manga. Blue Box, I don't know if... Actually, I think it will be more likely to get a live-action adaptation than an anime adaptation, but the mentality of how an athlete thinks in terms of so many different facets, training, talent versus hard work, is all met in a very mature way here. I love it to death. I really do like Blue Box a lot. You all should read it, and it should get an anime adaptation. It really should.
But you say that it's also more likely it would get at least it's more fitting for it to get a live action?
I mean, we have plenty of news stories that we actually do not cover where an anime is not adapted, but a live action version of a manga is adapted. And instead, we're just like, yeah, that makes more sense, most of the time at least. Does that mean I don't want an anime? Of course I want an anime. It's the Good Anime Podcast, not Good Live Action Podcast.
Is that going to be the next iteration of our...
Clap?
Yeah. Okay. So, I'd like for you to start with this one now. The Best Waifu / Best Girl Award for Season 5. I've got a runner-up and a winner, but I'm actually kind of flip-flopping a bit. Because I have them both at the same level, but there could only be one winner. So I want you to take it off first, and then afterwards, let me see if I've wrapped it around my brain which one I'm going to give the winner.
So should I do the runner-up, my runner-up and winner?
Do your runner-up first, and then by that point, I should have decided who I'm going to go with for
Flip a coin, my man.
Why?
I don't know.
Are you also stuck too?
No. My runner-up, though, is a duo of sorts.
That's not fair. What?
I mean, you have like double, right? Okay, you'll understand. Winter 2023, the anime is Tomo-chan is a girl. The runner-up is Misuzu Gundo and also Carol Olston.
Okay.
The blonde.
Right.
And the deadpan, like, kudere, like, evil manipulating.
So they're all from the same anime then?
Yes.
Right.
Their dynamic is very, very interesting. I also think they, go off of each other and vibe off of each other in an immense way, such that if they were all, like, individually, like, on their own, it kind of won't hit the same. If I really have to pick, I think Carol Olsen loses. And Misuzu, coming from the guy who likes kuderes, hello. So, but the comedy is really held up in Tomo-chan as a girl by them, like, significantly. And I think they're characters that are just awesome. Their arcs are great. And it is my runner-up.
Got it. I think I'm going to actually do a flip. I think I've decided who I'm going to go for my winner and my runner-up. So my runner-up is from Spring 2023, from Skip and Lover. It is Mitsumi Iwakura,
Yep.
the main character.
Okay.
Skipping along her way to class, trying to be school president or whatever the fuck she's trying to do. All she's trying to do is be.
She's trying to be a politician,
she's
right?
She's trying to be an S-tier student and really change things, really make good impact on the society that she lives in. I think the fact that like she's just like a very interesting, dedicated, but also kind of dunce character. Like she's very much like book smart, but not street smart.
But I think part of it, sorry to go off,
Yeah.
but part of it is like her candidness and just like the fact that like all these city hoodlums or whatever have like these preconceived notions, and she just has this like straightforward, blunt, down to earth attitude of like, why can't we be friends? Or
it's also coming down from a fact that like she grew up in a school that only had 7 students.
Exactly.
So she never really like ever encountered situations where like, because if you're in a school that's that small, you talk behind someone's back, you're going to hear it in the next minute. So with this, it's like country bumpkin that's super smart goes into big city of Tokyo and
is that like a transplant kind of thing? Yeah.
I mean, you see a lot of those kinds of like themes, those kinds of plots that happen in high school anime and manga as well, where you just have it's always like big city boy or big city girl moves to the countryside and vice versa. It's always one of those kinds of like fish out of water or like, small fish in big pond, big fish in small pond kind of stories. But I think that Mitsubi's character like melds well because she still has that very pure kind of perspective on how people should operate, how people should connect and interact. And it doesn't like necessarily affect the way that she tries to show herself off to people. Yes, she does feel like she needs to keep and maintain a certain social standard, but she's also not going to sort of impede on her own character to sort of break out that shell and be something that she's not. That's why she's my runner up.
Okay. I mean, it makes perfect sense. I think she's also like, side note, like a very good slice of life
character, yeah.
A slice of life main character. She's like primo quality S tier. Okay. So Will, Fluffy Sama likes slice of life. Okay, makes sense.
Fluffy Sama likes kudereis.
Makes sense. So when there is an anime in winter 2023 called The Ice Guy and His Cool Female Colleague, you would think that the female kudere would be the winner, and that is absolutely the case. Fuyutsuki-san is my winner for best girl / waifu of season 5, and probably a good waifu. Is it like the best kudere? No, but just quiet.
You're trying to figure out who your favorite kudere is. I don't think we have like 75 hours for this podcast, Jason.
No.
Is that enough, actually, 75 hours to break down your tier list for kudereis of anime history?
Well, what it would be is like 74.5 hours of me trying to like mull it over and then actually have half an hour of ranking it. But yes.
Really? It only took you half an hour to rank all the kudereis?
Well, if I spend like 74 hours, 74.5 hours.
You probably just kill some off, right?
Yeah, I better have it like get my shit together for that list. But it's such a good kudere. Very satisfying, very by the books kudere, but at the same time, it was just nice. It was one of those animes that is not necessarily outstanding, but the kudere is outstanding.
Cool. I mean, kudereis and you are just two peas in the pod, just like how for me, yandereis are.
Oh fuck! No way!
My pea in the same pod.
No way! No.
What do you mean? No.
Really?
Yeah, Detmon Deathplay.
Yo,
yeah.
She's a good character.
Yeah, Misaki Sakimiya, sorry. Now, she's not necessarily a kudere, I think, a yandere. I think she's just, a psychopath, but damn.
That's a yandere, right?
No, I mean, again, it's
a love interest.
It's the yan, not the dere, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Right?
That is true.
She's just crazy. But I think it's also the fact that, like, she...
No pink hair, though.
Yeah. So she... Oh, man. Where to start? She's cute, dangerous, fucking like intense as shit, but also like knows how to have a good time, or at least through her actions of just killing and maiming people. That's her take on having a good
what's
time.
Her moniker in the animes? Like the killer of killers, because that's what she does,
that,
right?
Yeah.
And I was I will not fuck with her. Like, not even like associate. Like
the killer assassin, something like that.
Something like that. I'll just be like, hey.
Well, I mean, her backstory is fucked up as shit too.
Let's not talk about that. Like, that's messed up.
That's kind of what made her the person that she is. And I'm not saying thank fuck it happened. I'm more just like, thank fuck such a character exists in anime and manga because, wow, I got nothing to say. Misaki Sakimiya, you're fucking awesome. Don't try and kill me, please.
So here's the other thing about her, which is she can kind of at least create a facade that can hold it together, especially, I think, at one point, the main character visits, let's just say, his family, for lack of a better term, and her demeanor, her conduct is, like, polar opposite, and to me, it's, like, extra scary if you know, like, who she is, or who she, quote-unquote, really is. It's just, like, no thanks, I'm sorry, but a top-tier yandere for sure. I mean, I would definitely put her up there.
Yeah. Who was your number one?
Furutsuki-san?
Yeah.
From Ice Guy and his cool female colleague. I don't know what's going on. Are you like...
In terms of like the pantheon of kuderes, does she even make your top 10?
No.
But in terms of like the sample size you're working with, that's the best you got.
And it was just like very by the books, but very satisfying. Whereas I would say Misaki, is that right?
Yeah, Misaki Sakimiya.
I think she would potentially make the lower half, maybe like number 9, number 10 of yanderes, or at least would be honorable mention 100%.
I think it's just the fact that she's more yandere. That's the main thing.
I think so. And the fact that she's okay with so many things that she should not be okay, and I'm not even counting the psychopath part.
Yeah. Well, we're going to flip this over now from girls and waifus to boys and husbandos. So, the best boy / husbando of Season 5. I just have one outright winner.
Let's hear it.
It's Corpse God.
Okay.
From Deadbound Deathplay.
Got it.
Yeah. Real name, or at least, the character that he took over, the person he took over, Polka Shinoyama. Need I say more?
Also, such a awesome name.
Polka is a fucking G, dude. I mean, he's just a young kid trying to like.
Well, he's not young. He's not young.
It's like the, yeah. He is a benevolent, everlasting god inside a boy's body.
Okay, I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say.
Do you think they deserve best couple? As in Polka and
if
Misaki.
we're talking about this season, perhaps.
Right.
Perhaps.
Or at least best duo, right?
Yeah,
like
for
partnership.
Sure. Because it's like when you say best couple, there's got to be like some romance in there. I haven't really seen all that much of it yet. It's more just the fact that like
they're bound by blood, not love.
One's insane, the other one is insanely powerful. So,
I would say Misaki is pretty powerful, like given her restrictions of.
Well, she definitely got a power up later on, so not gonna say any more because spoilers. But. Yeah, I think like in terms of like a non-screen duo, Polka and Misaki, fucking good.
But what if you're a kid, Will?
I mean, they're both kids.
No, but what if like you were a kid surrounded by people that have mystical powers, unbreakable resolve, diamond-like qualities?
Yeah,
you would get Hayato Kawajiri from Diamond is Unbreakable JoJo Part 4 for my runner-up for Best Boy.
He was runner-up?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
The fact that he could navigate his way out of a certain predicament or a certain repeat of a predicament kind of is ingenious. And hats off. I really do think in many ways him and Koichi is like MVP. I was going to have him share that runner-up spot with Koichi, but I was just like, nah, Hayato all the way.
Hayato's dope. I do like him a lot. I think like he's just one of the shining lights in season 4 amongst many shining lights. Season 4 was actually, now that you bring it up, season 4 was really, really damn good. I've had other seasons that are higher up, but you can't talk about JoJo and not mention season 4. But the fact that Hayato only made your runner-up spot, who the hell was your winner?
Aquamarine Hoshino from Oshinoko Spring 2023. I just really like that character. I think that his perception and as well as kind of his reasoning with a lot of things is very much not like the dunce main character or...
I mean, it certainly helps that he's not just a young boy, right?
Well, spoilers. But yes, absolutely. And I do think that he carries a lot of the show. In fact, he is the show in many ways, despite a certain idol, having the front and center kind of attention. I really think that his journey is great. His thought process is great. And almost his drive is fantastic. Oshinoko all the way. Best boy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we're going to, turn things back 180, but not talking about the good stuff. We're going to be talking about the bad stuff. The most disappointing of Season 5. Now, this could be the most disappointing seasonal, the most disappointing anime that was a backlog that we've watched. It could be a manga that we read, or anything really that was just not on the good side of the GAP. I've got one outright winner for this. How about you?
Let's hear your outright winner. I have a runner-up and winner.
I've been leading a lot of these awards. I want to hear more on your side now, Jason.
Sure. I will start with my winner. My winner is My Home Hero from Spring 2023 Anime Seasonal.
As is my winner for most disappointing of Season 5. My Home Hero was... I don't think it was utter trash. I don't think it was garbage, but what it could have been... It could have been so much better.
I think if it was trash, we would have thought.
Who animated it? Was it Tezuka Productions?
I think so. Yeah, I think that is right. Either that or Citrus, but I think it is.
Oh, definitely not Citrus.
Then it is Tezuka Productions.
Tezuka.
I just think that if it was worse, it would have actually, in some weird way, could have been. I would have considered that a better outcome.
Like, if it was just complete hot trash, then, we'd probably be looking at it more and it sort of it was kind of terrible, but that part was funny. But it's none of it was ever really funny. It was, serious all the way through. It was just very much
what it could have been, right?
It was let down by really boring animation, really lackluster voice acting. And this is not to say voice acting should be done better. I mean, I'm not a voice actor. The only time I'm ever using my voice for anything is through this podcast, really, right? But I just felt that it lacked that dynamism that would have actually instilled more of that suspense. That kind of is the whole point of watching or even reading My Home Hero. Reading it is fine because you can just make up the voices in your own head. But when it comes to actually watching it, like you said with Skip and Lover, things have to be done perfectly. You have to have the right voice actors. You have to have the right amount of silence along with music and create that ambience.
Yes, exactly. I think the storyboarding and directing, even though the plot beats and everything is, to my knowledge, identical to the manga, it is just not the same in terms of vibe and atmosphere, such that I'm just guys, it's wasted.
The thing was, is when we actually we watched the trailer, right? We watched the trailer and we were like, wow, this feels real 80s, 90s, monster-esque. That wasn't
Salaryman
but
type
that wasn't
revenge.
Even my main criticism. I actually was okay with that. Watching it, it looked fine. What was not fine was how the story was told and how the story was basically sequenced from scene to scene. It just felt really jittery. It didn't feel very smooth. Voice acting kind of just pulled you out from that immersion. There were times where I was just oh, some shit's about to go down, but the way that they played it out and then juxtaposing it with music that just didn't really fit in meant that you just killed off one of your best thriller moments. I think it happened in episode 1 or episode 2. Literally the first 2 episodes, there were some really fucking good thriller moments. And I tried to look up the corresponding scenes in terms of manga panels.
Does that have to do with a phone?
It has to do with a wardrobe.
Yes.
Phone and wardrobe.
Yes.
Yeah. That could have played out so much better because if you had read it from the manga, tense.
It's nail biting. It's supposed to be holy shit, this could be the end of the line.
But they dropped the ball. They legitimately made it so that it was just you knew what was going to happen. You're just sitting there watching. It's he's walking over. Yeah.
And let's not dance around it. When you saw that scene, anybody would watch that scene or read that scene. They knew what was going to happen, or they knew how it was going to be resolved. It's not a spoiler. We're not even going to say it, but when you see it, you'll be like, oh, okay, it's clear what's about to happen. But to craft it in such a way, that's why I was like, the storyboarding and directing or voice acting direction is so important here. We like to bag on, and especially like the last AD12, we talked about how character design adaptation is like most of the way there already. Yeah. That in the way it is like a lot of the legwork is done. Here, it is almost like the polar opposite where like, yeah, a lot of the legwork is done, but the adaptation process is not a one-to-one thing.
Yeah, even though you're reading the manga and you know it's about to happen, the fact that you can still be shocked or thrilled by it means that the manga did its job. It never gave me that feeling when I was watching the anime.
And do yourself a favor, just Google image search like panels of the manga and like a comparison shot of the anime, and you will understand what we're saying in terms of not only the look, but just the sheer tone of everything.
Yeah. So that was like the main disappointment for me, as for you, but you said that you had a runner-up. What was not as disappointing, but still like...
High Card.
You finished it.
I thought it was not great. I really don't like it.
Because the first episode was amazing.
I don't like it. I mean, yes. The first episode was bombastic.
Do you think that like they just
squandered?
Do you think like legitimately, like without, of course, not trying to be punny and everything, did they literally just show all their cards in the first episode?
They went all in on a hand with a high card against someone with literally any other hand to beat them. But
then the river came out, and there was like, oh, well, actually, my high cards don't mean shit in this situation.
It flopped on the flop, and it turned out that the river couldn't save them, if that's poker speak for you. The house won, and I didn't win, and every anime watcher didn't win either.
The house won? Really? I feel like if the players didn't win, in terms of like an anime... I think it's an original, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Then clearly, if like the players didn't win,
it's like a multimedia project kind of thing.
Oh, just wait for the game to show up on your app store.
I just think that it is this mix originally of Ocean's 11 plus jazz soundtrack. Okay, the soundtrack is, and obviously the production quality is the only thing that I will say is good. But when the story and the direction and everything is just very mid, it really brings down the whole aesthetics, and just everything else just makes it more of a disappointment rather than an outright failure. And in some ways, as we've mentioned before, that is worse.
Yeah.
Because you could have seen what it could have been, you know?
Yeah, the fact, I mean, like, from what you're saying, it kind of makes me feel like how I felt from watching Tag Top Destiny, where the first episode was so good, but then afterwards it was a train wreck.
I mean, road trips are all right in real life, I guess, but when you see
introducing villains throughout that road trip is also great too. But when those villains legitimately add nothing to your story, like, boom, is that how it was for How Card?
But if you want to know more, please download our app.
Yeah, I mean, How Card didn't do that, right? They didn't say that at the end of it. Oh, download our game.
Oh, that's Spike. Yeah, I understand your frustration. I think yes. It did not do that, but it almost was like, I wish it did in a way, because then at least there will be more to like sought out. But like, nah, bro, the fuck it. Even if there was, I don't fucking know. I'm just it's such a mess, dude. It's gonna win again later. I'm just gonna tell you, for like the bad awards, you know?
Right. Well, the next one isn't so bad. It's the best discovery of Season 5. So it could be something that completely caught us off guard when we were watching it or reading it. It could be something that, like, we did watch a little bit of it, and it was just like, oh, this is not all that great. But then we finished watching it, and you're like, you know what? This actually turned out to be pretty damn good. I'm happy to share it with people.
So I'm just going to say my winner, and then maybe you will go with the winner and runner-up, and then I'll end with the runner-up. My winner is Buddy Daddies. I just did not expect that level of enjoyment out of it, such that I was like, at the end of it, I was like, hell yeah. So I've already talked at length about it, so I'll just leave it at that. But it is my winner for best discovery / surprise.
Same that I'm not going to say all that much because I've already said a lot about it already. Dead Mount Death Play. Because legitimately, outside of watching the trailer, the first time we even saw this was like, what the hell is this?
It got my honorable mention.
It was fucking fun to watch that shit. Like I have no problem in terms of like sharing it with people, telling people that you got something that you want to watch this season and you already watched the bulk of like the quote unquote good stuff. Dead Mount Death Play, get on that.
I think it also has like a part 2 somewhere. I know it definitely is like there's a continuation already announced. So if that's what you're into and Will is into it, I'm into it. There's more of it incoming.
What was your runner up then?
So you had a no contest, Will?
It was just that, really. I think that like everything else was like I kind of knew what I was expecting, mostly because of like the primers that we had done before, or the fact that like these are properties that have already been hyped to shit. So it was not like anything was super surprising. The fact that like going in pretty much raw for watching Dead Mount Death Play and not only having them both like not only it being like the best discovery, but also having my best boy and best girl of the season. Like there's not much else that I want to, chime in on. Let's just leave it at that. So you had your winner already, but what else was there that was just like, wow, I did not expect this, or this people need to get on?
One thing, Will, that I like about the podcast, among many other things, is the fact that we can alert each other to shows that we might not be very purview to, And one of these shows that you mentioned quite a bit, I alluded to it, I think, a couple of days ago when we had that coffee shop sesh, is Handyman Saito in Another World, anime seasonal for winter 2023.
Very good.
Is my best surprise and discovery runner-up. Now, the only reason why it did not win is because I really do think that Buddy Daddies as an overall package was really good. But in terms of the sheer amount of surprise of what I thought it was in the beginning and then what it ended up being in the end, Handyman Saito takes the cake. Did I still give it an 8 out of 10? It's kind of like an 8.5 kind of if. Yes. But it was a very enjoyable ride, and I did not expect that level of storytelling from that premise. It is such a good show. It is, as you said, right, with Dead Mount Death Play. If you finished all like the quote-unquote like highly acclaimed stuff, all like the very popular stuff,
like your Dr. Stones, your Vinland Sagas, your Demon Slayers, whatnot,
this is definitely the next
Psychos,
exactly. Yeah. This is the next one on that like second tier. Even though that's like kind of like discounting
it. I
it.
actually didn't even mention Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho was really good too, but it was gonna be expected anyway. I wanted to highlight other stuff.
Yeah,
but like Handyman Saito was a fun time. I think I understand too, because it's like Buddy Daddies. If you were to share it with somebody that's like a classic kind of like 90s buddy cop like comedy drama kind of thing,
it's easier to kind of sell to someone, whether it is someone that is a very dedicated anime watcher or just someone that is casually into anime. Buddy Daddies is a very easy sell. Handyman Saito is like not that straightforward.
Yeah, like if you enjoyed like watching stuff like Kindergarten Cop, Pineapple Express, those kinds of things, right? Like you'll probably end up enjoying Buddy Daddies to an extent. Whereas Handyman Saito, it's kind of like you gotta really know like how isekais work, and it's not something that is extremely palatable to everyone.
Oh, it's like a vignette kind of thing. So it's like each episode has like shorts. So
there's like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, so it is.
Which I actually really love.
I do like, because then it focuses on different people, and then it all like culminates into like this big ensemble cast.
Who's your favorite character out of that cast? I mean, there's the mage. There's the pixie. Both of them are kind of actually like, both of them are on that same pedestal because I like both of their, because they really go in hard with the stereotypes of those types of characters.
Like the ensemble cast, you mean, right? So they're all like fair game. Shit. Not my favorite character, but I think the hero party, the priest, is such a dumbass character.
Yeah.
But actually, like, behind is like a heart of gold. really liked the whole like absurdity and comedic nature of it. It's not my favorite character. I think my favorite character is the wizard the main party.
My favorite character is Little Fairy, the pixie, because she's a greedy
the miser.
bitch. She's a greedy bitch, but she knows it and she uses it to her ability.
She doesn't really focus on that later on, but yeah, I think like that premise is like such a nice disconnect between what you see in terms of the aesthetic and character design and what ends up happening in terms of the personality.
Man, I gotta get around to finishing it then.
Let me tell you, it goes places, bro.
Nice.
Fucking goes places. Still 8 out of 10 though.
Now, the quote-unquote best anime that we have to get on. So this could be something that we maybe haven't checked out and people are really, really, really hyping it up. Or maybe it's something we've watched and we're like, we didn't really get it. We didn't really vibe with it. We just left it. But then all of a sudden, like things just started blowing up and we're like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I'm just going to say what's on my heart. It's The Dangers in My Heart. The fact that it started off the season at a low 7 and it's now like a high 7 as well. Because you and I both read the manga. And I think we both have the same criticisms of it. But the fact that like for the majority of this season, it was very, very, very low. I mean, still 7. That's pretty good. But for the sake of us just using our time to watch anime and shit, you know, we want to be focusing on stuff that we're more certain that we're going to be enjoying. The fact that it jumped up like 0.5, 0.6 points on my anime list, something must have happened. And it's...
Yeah, the couple get together, I guess. I literally don't know. I actually don't know, but I'm guessing.
Yeah, but I mean, does that then not legitimize it for something that perhaps maybe we should check out?
Yeah, just like how Nagatoro-san is like a high 7 or 8, right?
Yeah, but I mean, why are you throwing shade at my pick?
No, I'm not.
Okay, then why did you bring up Nagatoro-san? There's only one reason why you bring that up. I mean, if you don't enjoy Dangers in My Heart, fine. But I'm saying that like there must be something for that, like brought it up from like a low 7 straight to like a 7.6, 7.7.
There has to be a reason.
I mean,
like, legit.
You were the one who mentioned it to me.
I did.
Right? So don't
throw shade.
Don't be smug.
What was it? Don't throw stones in glass houses, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I said that is because the winner should be Vinland Saga, honestly, for me. In terms
but that's just you being lazy.
Yes. But really, the actual winner, as in like the winner that I will officially give, goes to Birdie Wing, Season 1 and Season 2. Because in similar fashion to your pick, Will, in terms of Dangers in My Heart, what the fuck is going on with Birdie Wing? We don't really know.
Well, we don't really know because Anime News Network stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
But first season, legitimately, like every single correspondent and reporter that was on Anime News Network just could not stop doing episode analyses of Birdie Wing Season 1, and now it's just like it's kind of got a little quiet. Do you think maybe it's because people are already on that shit, so there's no need to try and hype it up again? Or
yeah, I think with like Mother's Basement and everything in terms of mentioning Season 1, in terms of the hype train, the mouse score though, just like as you said with Dangers in My Heart, the jump. With Season 1 and Season 2, there is still prominent such that I feel like we need to get on that shit. My runner-up, it's going to be like a repeat Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury, Season 2. Come on, Jason. Get on that shit.
Well,
okay, got it. I know.
That's
Thank
more
you.
like a personal thing. That's just... Come on, your cleanup list is going to be stacked.
Oh, it's almost like I would mention that exact same thing later on. But yes, I'll get around to it, I guess.
We're finishing up. No, they're not finishing up yet, but we're getting close to finishing up these awards. The next award is the favorite / most important news story from Season 5. So, yes, in the last couple of episodes, we might not have gone through a lot of news stories because mostly they were kind of disappointing, just depressing, or there wasn't a whole lot of like needle-moving news that took place in the past month, but it doesn't mean that in the earlier parts of the season that nothing was happening. So we're going to be covering some of the news stories that we really, really liked, some that just brought tears of laughter out of us, or maybe it could be even those news stories that legitimately tilted us and just got us literally throwing up Baka of the Month awards at people. I've got 3 in no particular order, but there is one that is the outright winner.
I got a winner and runner up. How do you want to go about this?
I'll start with my second runner up.
Sure.
Anya and Lloyd rob a bank.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was fucking hilarious.
Wasn't it in Taiwan?
It was in Taiwan, in Taipei. I think in Taipei. And what was just hilarious about it was that, like, this is obviously just misleading the public, but every single article that came up with that story legit just said Anya and Lloyd Forger rob a bank. None of them gave any context to it whatsoever until you actually started reading the news and watching the video that accompanied that news article.
What if, like, the mugshot that accompanies that news story
yeah.
is like the cartoon footage of their mugshot of Anya Fort?
It was just fucking dumb, but like I laughed fucking out loud for this shit. Fucking great.
Your forger had to bail them out, basically.
Who else? Who else would have been
Exactly.
Bond? Do you think Bond would have done that? No.
Hey, that dog's a good dog.
Bond would have known what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the
right?
handler would have handled it legit.
And the problem is, though, that even though Bond knows what's going on, Anya wouldn't be able to tell anybody because she's nowhere near Bond. She can't have that telepathic link with him. She's too busy focusing on trying to rob a bank with an AK on a scooter.
God, it's so dumb.
What was your... Because you had a runner-up and winner, right? So what was your runner-up?
So, my winner is...
I hate that you're flipping these back and forth, man. Just go over it.
Okay.
Do it your way.
No, the reason
Have
why...
it your way.
Okay, I'm sorry, Will. I'm sorry. My bad.
Is that Burger King or like which fast food says it or it's
I think it's Burger King, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
The reason why I had the winner is because it is the less interesting pick. It
But
is
like the most obvious one, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is Cyberpunk Mamatoro and the various AI news stories that kind of propelled the recent discussion and fervor of within the anime and manga space in regards to AI. Obviously, AI is very with Midjourney AI and everything is like this big hot topic recently.
I mean, the fact that AI has been like our most popular topic of discussion for the podcast, like that
like
just
not
shows,
even
yeah.
close, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it is. That's why that's the winner, because I can't ignore it. Is it like my personal favorite? It isn't.
It's not fun to talk about, right?
My
Because-
runner up
yeah.
is, but that's why the winner. I can't ignore the fact of Cyberpunk Momotaro.
I'll go with my runner up, and then I'll go with my winner.
Sure, let's go.
The runner up is translating shit is really fucking hard, right?
Cypher Academy.
That was
so I thought about that. Holy shit, I thought about that.
Can you imagine that you legitimately get this job? You're going to be working on Nishio Isen's next work, newest work.
So am I a translator that is just like fresh in the industry?
No, you are a translator that's got maybe 15, 18 years down your belt.
So I'm a veteran.
English.
I know my
you are
shit.
very much like a senpai in this world of manga translation.
Oh, I know Nishio. He's a veteran of the anime and manga sphere, right?
I mean, how hard can it be?
Yeah, how hard can it be, right? Okay, he's good with words. Okay, I'm good with words as a translator, right?
And then you quit your job within weeks of starting this. That was just wow. I think like one, it's fucking hilarious that you see that and you're just like, God damn, how hard can it be? But then you realize it's also Nishio, who is a fucking 360 no scope big brain.
5-head kind of 4D chess. All we have to do is show that one panel in the manga of like that like game.
It's just literally, I think it's like a face in the middle and then two sides are speech bubbles and it's just words from top to bottom. I don't even know if it's a full page. It's definitely a full panel.
Probably a double, or actually I don't know.
It's just legitimately insane. So I feel sorry for you, whoever. Like we talked about the person's name in the news article. But like this is Nishio.
The only thing that I can think of, Will, is that silver lining. Maybe he thought of retiring already, and this just is like the last straw that broke the camel's back.
I can imagine this is like the very, very stereotypical part where it's just like you open up a book, you read it, and then you realize you're out of your depth, so you close the book, you stand up, you walk out, you close the door.
No, and then you burn the house. You burn the book.
You burn the house down.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you go back to make sure the book is burned as well.
Oh shit. Okay, what is your winner?
My winner was, you know, anime gets pirated all the time, so why don't you set up an agency to stop piracy, but then all of a sudden start releasing links to piracy links?
Yeah, I thought about that too. I really did thought about that.
That is legit. Like, if one is like an impossible task, this one is legitimately the very thing that you set up your agency to prevent in the first place. And your first step is, here are a bunch of sites where you can pirate anime, bro.
Oh, so we are an organization, nondescript organization against animal cruelty. But let me tell you what people do to animals that is cruel to us.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you are RSPCA, but let me tell you which breeds of dogs are best at dogfighting.
Yeah, and let me also show you YouTube videos of just how horrendous these acts are, and also have our interns
Foie gras is disgusting. Here's how they make it. Like,
yes.
What the fuck?
And let me just taste it for you. Oh, it's disgusting. Oh, whatever.
More foie gras.
Exactly.
So you got the boring, obvious winner out, right? AI for sure. It's like the hot topic of today still, even though we've been reporting it for the last 3 months. But what's the fun one? What's the one where it's just like, you know what? This was actually cool for me as a news article to report on.
For what it's worth, Will, your winners, your picks, essentially, I heavily considered them. But when I look at all the news stories like in front of me, the one that stood out was what is certain in life, Will? What is that saying?
There's two certainties: death and taxes.
Yeah. Well, is taxes easy?
No. Oh, right.
So in episode, I'm just thinking about episode number 55. The anime industry or a game developer decided, you know what? How about we make a visual novel about how to do your taxes and have a quote-unquote cute anime girl tell you all about it and release it on Steam, and then realize that actually is not a good idea.
Yeah, because the fiscal year is coming to an end, and, as you've seen through the last 3 years of COVID, things have been really tough. What will really help you in terms of filing your taxes if we got a pink-haired fucking anime girl telling you, you know what, your B-52 form, wherever the fuck it is, this is how you're going to fill it. Oh, don't forget to put in your social security. You put in your soch. Your soch.
Your soch numb. So here's the thing that really is so mind-boggling to me. That is why that even though it's the runner-up, it's technically the winner, like, in my mind. First of all,
it's the people's winner.
It's the people's choice, yeah. So first of all, the premise of having 2D waifus telling you how to do your fucking taxes. That's the first thing. Then realizing or not realizing the sheer problems that could occur when people take it seriously, because it's people probably will.
You just think that, like, oh, people wouldn't do that. That's really dumb. Well, I don't think you realize how dumb human beings can be.
And then it's pink hair. So it's kind of like, okay,
Did she turn into a yandere halfway through?
I'm like, it better be. Also, it should be red flags all over the fucking place.
You forgot to include your rental properties. You didn't include the profits you made from them.
Oh, let me quit the application. Oh, you can't close this application. Have you heard of Doki Doki
It's
Literature
not
Club?
Doki Doki. Don't do that.
Yeah, okay, anyway, so... And then just like, taxes is like the most boring thing ever. Yet it's like, you know what would help, guys? Let me just give you a visual novel.
And throw in some anime shit with you as well. Here
you go.
Pink girl, go. Fix this poor man's taxes, yeah.
And here's the other thing on top of all of that, Will. It is not worldwide, obviously. So it's like just U.S. taxes. So it's just like, obviously every country has different systems. But like, it's just so dumb, dude. It's similar to what you said about the government organization, CODA, right? Against digital piracy. It's just like...
Yeah.
Come on, guys. The one thing. What the fuck?
Well, we move on from the favorite or most important news segments of Season 5. We now go on to our favorite moments of Season 5. So It could still be news, but more maybe like reactions to it. It could be specific sort of quips that we might have had. It could be the heated discussions we've talked about in terms of JoJo and whatnot.
Yep. So in
Whatever
other
it
words,
may be.
yeah. So in other words, it's not necessarily exactly about a news story or an anime series, but it's something that got birthed from Will and I in terms of the GAP podcast.
Our little baby. Yep.
Yep. Okay. My runner-up is AD12, when the Crunchyroll Anime of the Year, the 7th annual Crunchyroll Anime Awards, was like, yo, you know what? We're just going to give Anime of the Year to an anime that did not air on Crunchyroll. Also, only got one other nomination. That's a VA nomination. Cyberpunk Edge Runner winning Anime of the Year.
Did David Martinez win the best VA performance in English?
I don't think it either was in English. It was one of the VAs.
We can check.
Yeah.
We can check. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is the character David Martinez, that voice actor in that language, winning the other nomination. So, but Anime of the Year, it's just like, what the fuck? Like, first of all, thank you. It's
like,
awesome.
It's like an executive at Coca-Cola saying, you know what, Pepsi actually tastes pretty good.
Yeah, and
what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not telling you anything else that would get you to even think about that. But by the way, Pepsi Max, pretty good.
Have you ever had Pepsi Crystal?
I think Sprite had a Sprite remix. Have you heard of that?
No, but did you know that Sprite had a Sprint Ice in Hong Kong?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Sprint Ice.
Sprint Ice.
And the ice meaning mint. It was mint Sprite.
That actually sounds okay. It's like a
It was
mojito.
actually really, really good.
It's like a virgin mojito.
That's how I imagine menthol cigarettes tasting like. God damn, yeah. Like, it was weird, but because it tasted kind of, it tasted very pharmaceutical. It tasted like chemicals for sure. I mean, most soft drinks are a bunch of chemicals anyway. But
Hey.
yeah.
Don't ever diss Dr. Pepper. Is all I gotta say.
I love Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. No, I'm not saying you, but I meant like
I love Dr. Pepper.
I meant like you as in like.
But root beer's at the top.
I don't like root beer.
There's nothing better than root beer.
I don't like root beer at all. Was it A&W?
Oh, Barks.
I fucking hate that shit.
Barks is way better than A&W.
But Dr. Pepper though, I will take it to my grave.
Do you ever do that thing where you go to like a fast food chain and they have the fountains outside and you literally make the kitchen sink. You just like tap every single one and then put ice in there.
What
or
is
you
this,
put
like wild card, like Uno type shit?
There are actually, I think it was either Carl's Jr. or Burger King where they actually had a plaque right next to the fountain where it's like, if you want to mix up your drinks, you can do like orange Coke, which is like Fanta Orange and Coca-Cola. You can do like Dr. Sprite,
like secret menu type shit. What the fuck?
Yeah, there was one actually that said just tap every single one by like a second and then drink it. Whoever put that together, you're a fucking asshole because that tasted terrible.
But also you're a G, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Just to be clear, Cyberpunk Edge Runner got nominated a bunch, but the only other winner is that VA award. I'm checking it right now.
So that was the best moment of the season for you. The fact that
No, that's the runner up.
Oh shit! What was your number one thing? 'Cause I only had number one. I only had one winner outright.
Will, do you like science and biology?
You gotta stop doing this, man.
So I like it when we kind of had that narrative about smooth brainness, and we got it wrong.
Yeah, just wait till the second half because I got a lot of shit to throw.
Oh, absolutely! It's not like I have no faults whatsoever. I just thought that
I was actually gonna go with some really happy shit for us because we managed to hit 50 episodes during season 5.
Yeah, congrats to us, buddy.
That was a really nice moment, Jason.
I love you, man.
It was great. I definitely cherish the work that I do with you, asshole.
I do cherish the work I do with you, no doubt. But I guess I'm not smooth-brained enough, and
fuck you.
And it all came to a head. Will, I guess I don't know. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, we're gonna get into the moment that we've all been waiting for because this is the Good Anime Palette podcast. After all, we are going to be now presenting the best anime.
Not best manga?
Not yet.
Oh,
I think because we will get into that. Do you want to do best manga first or best anime?
Yeah, let's do best manga first because
Right.
mine is really fast.
All right, flip it.
I actually think that Delicious in Dungeon deserves the winner
Yeah, because that was my winner.
because it's just such a good manga, dude.
Plus, the trailer also like kept up that like, oh, I can't wait to see this shit. You know, like I liked it a lot. I liked Delicious in Dungeon. The characters in the ensemble cast was great because there wasn't any real standout because they were all really weird and fucked up in their own way. And
I like that they have that web chart of like the A is like A in terms of like deliciousness and
protein,
nutrition.
nutrition, recovery speed and whatnot.
It's like, do you need to do that for the manga? Do you even need to do that? No.
I'm
No.
also glad they did give you the recipe for all the foods they make.
Yeah, because we will definitely find a
'Cause,
slime
yeah.
or griffin, right? Like that's definitely gonna pan out.
Have you ever eaten slime roll up before?
I've eaten fruit roll up.
Yeah,
before.
you ever just killed a slime and then dried it out?
No, but I've watched people kill slime for 200 years, or no, 300 years.
300 years, yeah.
A witch who kills it for 300 years. Yeah. But my God, it's such a good manga,
But it wasn't your winner.
it is my winner.
It is your winner.
My runner up, of course, is Blue Box as well as Nagata Kabi's like My series, and the only reason why I did not have the My series as a winner is because I've read it previously, so it technically is like doesn't count. But also because Delicious in Dungeon is fucking dope. Come on, guys.
Right.
The fuck.
Now then, what we've all been waiting for, best anime of season 5. Now this includes everything we've talked about, from mentions, from analyses to backlogs, all the way through to seasonals. This is the best choice.
Cream of the crop, primo.
I've got a runner-up, and I've got a winner.
Side note, Will, we definitely have talked about in the past, but we should do like a cuisine, food, gourmet kind of episode, right?
Oh, wow. We actually haven't done that yet.
Yeah, we have not.
We should do it, though, where, like, okay,
Should we do it while we're eating, though?
I'm going to be in Japan in 2 weeks,
Holy fuck.
and I will bring back a bunch of anime-themed food that we can review on the episode, whilst also talking about food
Sponsored by like Loot Box or whatever it's called.
Oh shit, what's that box called?
I actually don't remember.
It's
The one that has, like-
Sakura something. Yeah,
It's like confectionery kind of thing.
it's like seasonal Japanese.
yeah,
snacks.
yeah. I'm sure.
Boxu. That's what it's called.
Boxu. There you go. Anyways, that aside, which is definitely going to happen because Will and I really like gourmet cuisine themed anime and manga, and I promise it's not just Shogeki no Soma.
Did you finish campfire cooking, by the way?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I should get on that too. But all that to the side
It will
now.
show up later on.
Best anime of season 5. Runner up for me is Finland Saga season 2.
What the? What? Hold on.
You know what's my winner, because my winner.
No way. No fucking ways of Skip and Loafer.
It's not Skip and Loafer. It wasn't a seasonal. It was a backlog. Summertime Render
Okay.
was the best anime that I've watched in the past 6 months.
I mean, the fact that you gave it a 10 out of 10 should be somewhat of an indication, right? Like, legit.
At the very least, a 9. I'm pretty sure I logged a 10, but if not, I'm going to go and change it now because I am all in on that shit. And you should be too. But the reason why I gave Summertime Render the nod over Vinland Saga is because of the fact that, well, it's season 2 of Vinland Saga. I've already watched part 1. I knew what was already going to be happening. In the sense of like what kind of theme, what kind of feeling I'll be getting from watching it. The characters are pretty much the same except for the introduction of new characters in season 2. But Summertime Render was legitimately the first time, maybe in a long time, even maybe since like reading and watching Monster, where I was like, damn, edge of my seat. I cannot live with this cliffhanger. I was a hangover.
We will get a hangover.
I need to know what is going to happen in the next episode. And there were so many of those episodes that just kept me wanting to watch more and more and more because I wanted to get to the bottom of this fucking mystery.
I legit, I think the fact that it is a complete adaptation from beginning to end. The fact that you gave it a 10 out of 10. The fact that OLM did a legit good job, even within the couple episodes, I can already tell, right? That
Not to mention that, like, the EDs and the OPs.
Oh, so good.
Some of my favorites of all time.
Didn't they use, like, live-action footage for the ED or
basically,
something?
like, the ED, I think in the first half.
It's like a ferry ride, right?
It's a ferry ride, and it's like a scenic sort of, like, slow pan shot of an island whilst you're taking a ferry across the Japanese waters.
Because of a certain way to get to a certain island. Yes, of course.
Spoilers, the whole series is based upon a real island in Japan, I think.
But don't go there to find summertime render type kind of shenanigans, okay?
Or just go there and pay homage to the series.
That is acceptable.
The whole anime tourism thing,
That
right?
is definitely acceptable, which, by the way, we should also do something for. I don't know if that's like a thing or not, but
We're going to have to introduce video for that then. Visiting real-life anime.
travelogue type shit.
Yeah, we're going to need at least 2 months for that.
Hey, surprise, surprise, ladies and gents. For Season 5 of the Good Anime Palette podcast, Jason Fluffy-sama decided that the best anime from Season 5 runner-up is, of course, Buddy Daddies, and winner is Oshinoko. What the fuck? Oh, wow, very surprising.
You really liked Oshinoko that much?
I really like Oshinoko a lot.
Damn.
I think Buddy Daddies was the more surprising, unexpected. I mean, obviously, because it's anime original. How would you know? Obviously, you have PA work, so you can kind of guess that in terms of level of quality. But the reason why Oshinoko is so unavoidable to me in terms of giving it the winner is partly because of the sheer expectations and the burden and the weight that's associated with the hype versus how it could have gone wrong in so many different ways.
I mean, to this day, it's still holding a 9.01.
01. Yeah. But, well, think about it. I mean, Doga Kobo previously was not so hyped up. Then gets, in terms of on paper, in terms of stats, one of the most hyped mangas in recent, like, I don't know, couple of years, recent memory.
It was definitely top 3 in terms of, because they do that survey every year where it's like, what manga do you guys want to see adapted? And Oshinoko was always like near the top, if not at the top of the list.
And then you get Aka Akasaka to write it right off of Kaguya-sama ending, and then it is just so scary of a proposition to me in terms of the sheer potential ways plural that it can go sideways or like fuck up. And in the end, it didn't.
Like, you would have imagined it'd be like an A1 Pictures, like Cloverworks that would do Oshinoko.
I legit
right?
thought it should have been Cloverworks for the longest time.
Yeah.
Or maybe Wit Studio, maybe.
But Doga Kobo, like, hit it out of the park.
Super hit it out of the park. High Dive got a huge bump in terms of like reception.
What was the number that they set in terms of like the increase of subscriptions or like at least like users on it was a lot. It was pretty significant.
It's their most sought after show of all time in its existence, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I can go find the number, but the news story is like, but them boasting that like this is the most successful licensing we've ever done, period.
Based on that, though, do you then maybe see that there might be more shows that get licensed or maybe even exclusives through High Dive? Or do you think this is just like, this is an anomaly?
Yeah, it's an anomaly. It's a good W, a very good W, but it's an anomaly. Will they get a bump in terms of subscribers? Potentially. I definitely think they will, but I don't think it will be that significant because people just subscribe and then watch it, Oshinoko, and then leave. That's what Netflix happens all the time.
Yeah, I think the fact that like with Netflix, yeah, they still have like stuff that comes up every now and then. I mean, right now they've got like Hell's Paradise, they've got the SAE series, they've got Ultraman, they've got all the old school classics. I don't think Naruto anymore. I think they took it off of Netflix.
Shippuden, I think, is still on there.
But not the first Naruto, right?
Either one or the other. I forgot.
Yeah.
But yes, you're correct.
I don't think Boruto's on there. Not that anyone really should watch.
I think it's on Crunchyroll, but that's why I think Oshinoko deserves that extra level of credit, at least in my mind, because.
But Buddy Daddies.
That premiere episode for Oshinoko as well.
But Buddy Daddies
is really good, though.
Right.
Buddy Daddies is really good, though.
So that rounds out the first half of today's episode. We've gone through all the serious-ish awards. Definitely a lot of twists and turns. Some stuff that I didn't expect Jason to pick. I'm sure Jason didn't expect me to pick certain things as well. But what matters is that who are you going to, tell us what we should do or should not do. This is our shit. We're going to be picking whatever the fuck we want. And then we're going to be going into a break because then we will be going into the not so serious, the shits and giggles,
The
the fun
stupidish
stuff.
awards, yeah.
We're going to get into some real dumb shit. So stay tuned. We'll get back to you in just a second.
On the flip side. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the second half of Season 5 of the Good Anime Palette Podcast Season Finale, episode number 60. I am your co-host, Jason. Had food. Will decided to forego food because you know what? Dude got his fill, half of it at least, because we are going to give you the rundown for Stupidish Awards. Will, what's up, buddy?
So I've moved on from the strong sour and have now been drinking some of the other flavored alcohols.
Oh,
we
wow.
have.
That's like pretty done, right?
This
Shit.
one's halfway there.
Fuck.
So what else I got here now is the Kirin Brewery's Hyoketsu Rose sparkling alcohol, which is a mixture of grape juice, vodka, a bunch of chemicals like carbonic acid and different like regulators from acids. And
E330.
what's the crazy thing is that the strong sour is reportedly 4% fruit juice. What you're drinking right now, the grape alcohol, is 0.3% fruit juice. So the rest of it is just sugar.
I have to be honest, I just drank it for the first time.
The first taste when it's that crisp cold is delicious, but the aftertaste afterwards is just rank.
It is like, it's not grape juice, grape drink, going off of David Chappelle.
Here's the thing, though, right? Like, I'm not dying like I usually would be if I was just knocking back shots of sake.
Yeah, so here's the thing, going off of what you're saying. Normally by now, we would have finished like 3/4 of all the alcohol.
If not at least a small bottle. We'd be like
No,
halfway
a bottle
through
and a half.
We'd
Yeah,
be
yeah.
halfway through the next bottle.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's like a good or bad thing, the fact that we are less drunk for the second half.
That's fine. I mean, like we're gonna be able to make it entertaining and shit whatnot because we are going into the Stupidish Awards. So I think we still have the same amount of categories. Nothing has changed yet. We are going to be starting off with the classic opener of the Stupidish Award, which is the head pat, the handhold, and the body truck.
Fuck, marry, kill equivalent.
I got two different versions.
Oh.
Do you or just the one?
I got the one. How do you want to do this? Okay, how about you give me one of those two versions?
I'll do the dumb one, which I think. I mean, I didn't watch the anime,
okay.
So you're gonna have to fill me in.
So there's a dumb one, and then there's like a legit one, right?
Yeah.
So to speak. Okay.
So the dumb one I got is, pat, hold, or truck. Rurushi, Tia, or Ria from Farming Life.
Are they all from Farming Life?
Yes.
Okay, I need to take a look at that first.
Yeah. So these are, at least according to my anime list, the three main female characters that appear throughout the first part of Farming Life Isekai. That aired last season, I think.
So Tia, I'm not looking. Tia is the angel. There is a vampire. Then who's like the other main one?
I mean, I've only watched episode 1. I don't think I think only the vampire showed up in episode 1.
Yeah, I think the angel shows up like as a stinger for episode 1 and then shows up in earnest like episode 2 onwards, I think. Let me open it real quick. Well,
here we go. Okay. So, the main characters, Dududushi is the
vampire,
like light purple / pink hair. Tia, blonde, big breasts.
Angel, yep.
And then Rhea is like the elf girl, the one with the really long pointy ears.
Oh, I see. Oh, you're having me pick between those three.
Yep.
Okay, let me think. Rhea would be head pat.
Okay.
Mainly due to power level reasons. She is not that powerful in the grand scheme of things. Between the angel and between the vampire, probably kill the vampire and get and marry the angel.
How would you kill a vampire? Stakes?
No, with a truck.
Suzuki?
Yeah, but does it kill her?
In this world, in this award, yes, it
Okay.
absolutely does.
There you
but
go.
you have to send her. You don't necessarily kill her. You just send her to a different reality, a different world.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, in actuality, I'm not going to go into spoilers, but my priorities are very different than the main character's priorities, the dude in the harem. But that's not his world, his situation. That's my situation and my take on it. So, Will, I have decided, instead of using farming life in another world, because I know you didn't go into all of the characters because you didn't watch like too far in. But I do know there is another show that you have been mentioned that involves a harem of sorts. You know, like a certain goddesses.
You piece of shit.
Like a certain goddesses. But instead of offering 3 out of the 5, we're just gonna do a dating show and you pick of the 5, the 3. Okay, so we have Oka Makuzawa, who is, her birthday is on March 7th. Her height is 156 centimeters, blood type B, okay? She likes sewing, cute clothes, and obviously she likes the Cafe Terrace Familia's pumpkin cheesecake. But what does she not like, though? She doesn't like cleaning and chores, except for laundry, though, it says here. She dislikes weird fashion trends, which I'm guessing is like, I don't know. And she dislikes bugs, okay? She is the red hair lady.
It's going to be tough because her birthday is very close to my birthday.
Then you get probably my pick in terms of waifu material. Akane Hoji. Born 1st of December, 160 centimeters tall, blood type AB. She likes concerts, cheap candy for some reason, and Hayato's grandmother's coffee, which is the main character's grandmother's coffee. She dislikes concert MCs. She dislikes getting up early, and she doesn't like ghosts. She's the blonde hair goddess. Then you have Ryo Tsukishima, the, I guess, redhead, orange-haired lady.
Yeah.
Born August 7th, height 152 centimeters, blood type A. What does she like? She likes fortune-telling, fashion, and Pomeranians, in quotations, the Shiba Inu style. I don't know what the fuck that means, but okay. She dislikes she dislikes pack trains. Who does like pack trains? She dislikes chicken skin and cats stretching out really long. Okay? And then you probably get the person that changes personality the most, that gets drunk a lot, the forest green-haired lady.
Shigariku Ono.
Correct. Born November 11th, one day before my birthday. Height of 163 centimeters, blood type A. She likes cooking, reading, especially romance and mystery novels. And she likes Toraya brand Yokan. What the hell is that? Must be something like in the anime. But she dislikes spicy food. She dislikes exercise and dirty jokes, despite probably being the most lewd when inebriated. All right? Then the last but not least, the sporty girl, blue-haired, Ami Tsuruga.
Toraya Yokan is basically a brand of sweet red bean jelly. So she likes really classic Japanese desserts.
Like confectionery, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Is it like mochi-based?
No, I don't think it's much. It's literally just like azuki beans. Like the red, you know when you get like the Doraemon red bean little cakes, those little buns.
Yeah.
It's the paste on the inside.
I see. Okay. So it's literally like a blob of
Sugar
good
and red
stuff.
Sugar and red beans, yeah.
Okay. So Ami Tsuruga, the blue-haired, ponytailed, sporty type. Born January 20th, 167 centimeters, blood type O. Here's the kicker, Will. You ready for this? She likes Ultraman. She likes high places. I don't know what that means. You're going to have to infer what that means. And she likes one of the main characters, Shiragiku's cooking. She dislikes evil monsters. She dislikes studying.
So she hates kaijus, basically. Yeah.
Exactly. And she dislikes green bell peppers.
What do you want me to do here? You want me to rank all 5 of them, or
No. So you have 2 choices, Will. Either you group, like, pair one. You need at least 1 in each category. So you can, like, have your choosing, I guess, as to who. Or only choose 3 of the 5, and the other 2 is void from existence, ever. From the pantheon, from the lore.
Easy. I'll go with the second option. Ami is gone forever. As much as she loves Ultraman, I just do not feel that I would vibe with her whatsoever. And I will probably get rid of Riho, which means that Oka, Makuzawa, Akane, Houji, and Shiragiku Ono would remain as the 3 goddesses that I would maintain employment at my cafe.
The red, like, violet
The
hair.
red, the blonde, and the green.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, those would be my 3 choices as well.
With the green being number 1. Akane being number 2.
Yeah, okay. All right. But, like, who would you hit with a truck? Who would your headpan? Who would your hand hold, though?
Oh, I would probably hit Oka with a truck. And I would hold hands with Akane.
Really?
But pat Shiragiku on the head.
I thought you would mix Akane and
There's only so much
Shiragiku
fun you can really have with Shiragiku.
before you just start losing your mind. I
mean,
guess.
dude, like if like a sip of alcohol is all she needs to, fly off the handle, you only want like a certain amount of time with that person.
Plus, she doesn't like dirty jokes.
I'm glad that you were trying to go with this a little more thematically, because now I want to picture yourself being back in school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Hold on. What type of school though? Let's.
It doesn't really matter so much. Let's just say you're a student. You could
like
be,
Gakko.
You could be in like primary, like elementary school. You could be in middle school. You
I
could
would
be in
prefer
high
school or beyond, but okay.
Then we'll make them all like. Just imagine that
Adult version.
Make sure that just make it so that you're more sort of like age appropriate. Like
okay, university student
within that grade of them.
I just graduated. 18 plus.
You haven't graduated yet.
Oh shit!
You are let's say you are a third year.
Okay.
Right? And
still 18 plus?
A fresher has just joined, and they're kind of shy, don't really know what's going on. They kind of want to like make new friends, but they don't really know how to go about it.
But they're not clueless, are they?
Well, I mean, there's going to be a few of those in here, right?
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
So, which ones would you actually be best friends with? Which ones would you actually give advice to? And which ones would you actually completely ignore?
You're remixing the shit? What the fuck, Will?
I mean, you also then threw in 5 goddesses for me to pick from, right?
Well, because I thought excluding, like, 2 of the 3.
So then, the choices are, of course, Akane and Nishimura.
Sorry. So, give advice, friends with, and then ignore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Akane Nishimura from Clueless First Friend, Isaki Magari from Insomniacs After School, or Mitsumi Iwakura from Skip and Loafer.
I'll be friends with Skip and Loafer. Oh. I would ignore Clueless First Friend.
What? You're literally being this bully. Oh. To be fair, it's not easy to make these. They're all legitimately good people portrayed in their respective animes.
Hey, listen, Will, look, it's not that I endorse bullying of any sort, but in a way, if, like, she goes her way, I go my way, I don't bully her, and maybe we have class activities, and we like, I'm not mean to her, she's not mean to me, we all good, right?
So you would give advice to the girl from Insomniacs After School?
Yeah, because I also have a level of actual insomnia. We will vibe and like bond through each other's adversity together.
But the highest level of bonds, the amount of extracurricular activities you would share with, it has to be Skip and Lover.
Yeah, because Mitsu would probably just be like the best person to just be around. I'm not necessarily the most easygoing, happy-go-lucky person ever. I'm sure you can attest to that, as well as all our mutual friends. So having someone there that is kind of like bubbly, Dandere-esque, right? It's just like a very good foil for my personality and my way of thinking about things. You know, drag me up from the depth of despair and pessimism and cynicism. So those are my picks.
Wow, that was very poetic. Nice. Shall we move on to the next award then, which is the ELI5, or the Explain Like I'm 5 Award for series, manga, trends, or news stories really that we just don't understand and we really need someone to explain to us like we're 5 years old.
What you got? Well, do you have anything?
Onimai. I, for the life of me, know why there's a certain level of popularity. The thing I want to ask is, to the people who watch and enjoy and gave this series a very high score, both the manga and the anime, why? What is going on with you folks? There's obviously a certain appeal as to what brings you towards this series. But is that it? Is that really just the simple fact that we're talking about like a gender bend, kind of somewhat ecchi, somewhat lewd?
So is that your non-contest?
There's nothing else.
Okay.
Because everything else, I feel like there must be some explanation, and I kind of see it already. But this, on the other hand, is just like, whilst I know what is appealing to the people who enjoy this show, my question on my side is, are you okay? What's going on?
So my going off of like what you just said, my no contest winner for ELI 5 is the fact of having things not explained in terms of the premise and appeal, and having the other person or whoever it is on the other side to expect to be on board day one right away from the get-go. For example, Onimai has that. Dangers in My Heart has that. Nagatoro-san has that, where like from the get-go, or it's like, oh, it takes like, you know, you heard the saying of like, it takes a cur to build up. The second half is great. Of course, there's always going to be exceptions. Steins Gate's probably being the more famous one of those, right? But at least with Steins Gate, I can be like, okay, there's like science fiction, time traveling. Oh, it's kind of crazy. It looks kind of cool. But if you're going to sell me on Onimai, for example, which I have thought of, or Dangers in My Heart, you can't just say like, oh, it gets good later. Like, that's just like, it's not good enough. Or there needs to be something from the get-go, or something to like,
yeah,
like ease me in, you know?
Come on, man. Like, it's like, do you want to watch like incel material in Dangers of My Heart? Do you want to like embrace the lolly siscon in Onimai? Do you want to just watch straight up like bullying and social ostracization in Nagatoro-san?
Now, I am not here, I mean, at least I speak for my own, I don't know about Will, which is, of course, some of these, especially Dangers in My Heart, I think is of Onimai and Nagatoro-san I can speak the most to, which is it does eventually evolve into something. But same with like When Will Ayumu Make His Move or whatever, which is another like slice of life kind of romance. There's not enough for people to like go off of, for them to stick around. And if you're not there...
It's the same with like My Little Monster, right? It's like, how long is it going to be for this main character or that character to grow up and actually be a functional part in this relationship?
But with My Little Monster, there's like the drama, there's like the realization, there's the character building.
Yeah.
A lot of those are not present in some of the shows that we just mentioned, right? Or even with Steins Gate.
Because they try and just build up on that shtick, which is like, bullying is cool until you fall in love with that person.
Or you're a tsundere. Okay, I guess that is cool. That's a stereotype, an archetype of anime and manga. But like, if you are not there to like appeal to people right away, no one is going to stick around when there's 100 million other shows, 100 million other mangas to read, or like
Look, there's a reason why we pick these kinds of series. I mean, specifically for me, why I pick Onimine. For you, the whole point in like why people have to dredge through like a curve of horse shit before you get into the good stuff. Maybe we're not seeing the point, but that's exactly the reason why it fits in this particular award category. We don't know. We may not want to know, but if there's someone who wishes to explain, we're more than happy to hear you out.
Yes, except we might not then watch or read the show or manga.
Like, you further confirm this is like the same shit every day. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep watching Vinland Saga. I'm just gonna keep watching whatever's next after Summertime Render.
Or the same shit, different day that appeals to me, right? Like, I'm not here to diss you, but if you don't even like convince me or sell me on this, then I'm sorry, it's a no-go. And don't be mad that I don't get it, because you didn't even give me a chance to get it.
Yeah. We now move on to, I think, we may have the same answer for this, but it's the Fuwafuwaru
Absolutely
award,
not
which is
the same.
The fluffiest anime. Well, if that's the case, then Jason, why don't you take it away? And what was your fluffiest anime of season 5?
My runner-up is a double header because it's Campfire Cookie in Another World with my absurd skill and also farming life in another world.
You can't put them on the same pedestal. One's gotta be higher than the other, Jason. Which would you rather do, farming or Campfire?
Farming.
Farming would be number one in the runner-up list.
Yes.
Okay. I can't really say much because I didn't watch as much as Campfire.
Because I like Harms.
Fair. But that's what the fluffy is for you?
Because fun bags are fluffy, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, God damn.
Okay, but here we go. Okay. But the fluffiest is not Skip and Loafer, because I think Skip and Loafer is more than just fluffiness. There's drama and character development. But the fluffiest, the most cotton candy one, Non Biori Repeat.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that is literally the definition of fluffy right there.
From episode 56 for our Slice of Life Wholesomeness episode. Non Biori is just straight up cute, nice, sugary drink. You need insulin afterwards, or else you turn diabetic. And it's just like 4 kids growing up in the countryside, just chilling like a villain.
Yeah, I went with Skip and Loafer because you just can't look past the altruistic nonchalance and the just wide-eyed positivity that comes from Mitsumi.
I think Skip and Loafer, the reason why I didn't consciously choose it is because I think it extends to me at least beyond just slice of life and wholesomeness. There's like character development and also just sometimes even like thoughts and like nostalgia.
But it's grounded in the fluff.
Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind.
And that's why it was number 1 for me.
And I think that's like awesome choice, honestly. So there you go.
180.
Fuwafuwaru.
We go into the Prison of Eternity Award, which is the cruelest, the edgiest, the darkest anime we had seen from season 5. There was really only one winner for me for this one. That is Dead Mount Death Play, because that first episode was ridiculously edgy.
That was my honorable mention.
It was so fun just watching the first 25 minutes of Dead Mount Death Play, and the fact that it wasn't even like you didn't like they didn't throw all their eggs into that basket. They just kept ramping it up, and
that first half of the first episode was just one fight scene.
Yeah,
it's just awesome.
And then the second half of it was another fight scene or a chase scene,
and then like murder,
cold-blooded. Fucking love it. But you had that as an honorable mention, which meant that it didn't actually make it as an official nomination.
Yeah, the second honorable mention is Cheat Skill Isekai, which I think is just very shit.
That wasn't edgy for you. Well, I guess
was edgy in like
certain like instances. I guess thematically it's edgy.
Yeah, as in like not the main character, or what the character like does or goes through, as much as it's just society perceived as a whole towards the main character. It's just like, hey, human beings are scum. Everyone is just fucking pathetic, except for like these people, but everyone else is like, no, end of story.
It's just funny that like these people that are the good people are like love interests, and then these who are shit are the ones who bully me.
Or they died before the anime started that the main character cares about.
But that was an honorable mention.
That's like very far honorable mention, but I feel like this is the only time I'll mention Cheat Skill Isekai.
Damn. Okay, right. So I'm guessing then you have one runner-up and one winner?
Yep.
Right.
Runner-up is easy. Drifters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Winner?
The edgiest of edgelords sometimes hides in the shadow and becomes an eminence person. Eminence and Shadow Cur 2 for winter 2023 is my Prison of Eternity and Cruelty Award winner. The pinnacle definition of edgelord.
I'm glad you said Prism, because that's just going to further reinforce some of the awards I'm going to be rolling out later on. But
What does that mean?
don't worry about it.
Okay, got it. Fine. Like in a cage somewhere?
So Eminence and Shadow Part 2.
Yeah.
What's up with it? Is it good?
It's hella good, dude. I don't know what else to say other than season 2 they announced right afterwards. The score jumped up to like now an 8.23 on my anime list. It's kind of insane, actually. I didn't think it was that good, but I thought it was really good. So, it gets even edgier and dumber and more mob character, background character, but I will fail at that because I'm just so overpowered.
Should we move on to the next award then?
Absolutely.
Right. We are going into the next award of today's episode, which is the Thinking Man Award. Now, this is one that probably sort of like brings up the most discourse or discussion, or maybe it could just be something that is extremely philosophical. Who knows how you want to define the Thinking Man? What it basically is do we talk a lot about it? Do we think a lot about it? That's the main thing. Just one clear-cut winner for me.
Same thing here. One clear-cut winner.
For you?
Yep.
Which is?
BP15 stuff.
Okay.
Cyberpunk Momotaro, I think, is a very impactful, important, that got me a lot of thinking about the future of AI within anime and manga, and just like its impact on its creators and fans of anime and manga.
Heavenly Delusion for me, because we talked a lot about what the fuck was going on. The fact that we also drew a lot of parallels to other series that we had watched before, how it could be better, how every episode afterwards we were just like, yo, so this thing can't get worse, right? Like, this whole situation that the characters are going through, they can't go through any worse experiences. And then we watch the next episode and you're like, oh, well, I mean, they can't get through another worse experience. And then we just kept talking and talking and talking. I think that I mean, how many episodes are you now? Episode 3, 4?
3, I think. The episode that starts with Mario Kart, let's just say.
Yeah. Keep watching it. Except that that's not the award that I have for you gotta get on this shit.
Same thing for me as well.
Yeah. On to the next episode. Not the next episode. The next award, which is the Get On That Shit. We're finally there. I've got one clear-cut winner, and I'm pretty sure you can already guess what it is.
No idea. Well, lay it on me.
Yeah. So time and time and time again, just like the series tries to show you, you really got to spend some time to fucking get on watching, or if you want to read it, Summertime Render. Because I think you're still stuck on episode 12 or 13.
No.
You're still stuck on episode 8.
No.
You're still stuck on episode 3.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
It's either 2 or 3. Yeah.
Get on it, man. It's so fucking good. I mean, look, if there was a series that you said you gave a 10, I would probably get on. Well, I mean, I will try to get on it, but there's a lot to like about it. And I know as well, because we talked about it before, where it's like when we were starting to watch the first couple episodes of Summertime Render, you brought it up too. Is it going to land the ending? Is it going to stick
the landing?
Is it going to actually keep up, ramping up the suspense all throughout the 2 curs without dropping the ball? I guess you have to find out by watching it.
My runner-up for the Get On That Shit award is not addressed to Will, but more addressed to animation studios, specifically music composers. When your anime music soundtrack, the orchestral one, just hits it the right notes and vibes, it's just nice. It's just great, and it really enhances just the overall production of the anime. I'm talking 4 in particular. Buddy Daddies, I'm talking about Skip and Loafer, and believe it or not, High Card. And the last one on there that I did not expect to put on there was Trigun Stampede.
Yeah, so I feel that's a little bit of an unrealistic expectation. But then again, that's also why you're just making a plea to all the music composers and soundtrack designers of just do what you can to make the music good.
Yeah,
do what you can to actually get the ebb and flow to at least match up with what's happening on screen.
Yeah, and it's not like, oh, it just needs to be fast-paced trumpet jazz. No, it just needs to when it hits the right. Like Skip and Loafer is the best example of there really isn't like in your face type music, but it really enhances it, in my opinion.
Do you think it's just because of the fact that like we're inundated with so much shonen that they have to go for the stereotypical shonen soundtracks?
I think Sawano is one of the best composers of all time. I will never dispute that. But I can tell when someone emulates that.
It's like I wouldn't even say emulate. I think it's just the fact that like,
or when Sawano does it, I guess
it's a shonen piece, so you want like high octane, loud rock music or like battle music. But there's that there's always like a very stereotypical kind of like fight sequence music that plays in the background of a specific scene, and it's very generic. It's very stereotypical.
It's playing in my mind as you say it.
You know
my
what?
God.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I
right?
know exactly what you mean. Holy shit!
And so like, I think that's literally it. You're kind of
it needs that drum. You know, like the line dance drum, like the big drums.
I think,
my God!
I think it's just that you're just kind of kneecapped by the sort of genres that come out per season. I think like when you talk about things like Skip and Loafer, you talk about High Card. Okay, maybe High Card's not the best example because there are some stereotypical elements about it too, but they kind of play that to like their merits too. They try and actually like utilize what's like very stereotypically good about High Card and try and like give you the best experience there is with it. I get that. I think in general, like to say to like a music composer or like a sound designer, just do your job better. Like that's not what you're trying to get at.
That's the easiest armchair critic thing, the most condescending, like easy to just say or do in terms of like, oh, yo, go fix it, you know, like very dismissive. It's not that as much as like High Card, I think, is a very flawed, almost like not worth pursuing anime. But I really think the soundtrack is very in sync with the vibe and atmosphere and just how dapper all the people in suits are. But that's it. Does that mean then it's like irrelevant? As an anime thing, yes.
Right.
But not on its own, because it did capture exactly what it should be.
So we did spend a lot of time talking about your runner-up. I will give you the floor for a little bit longer because I do want to grab another drink. Please do tell the audience who was the winner for the Get On That Shit Award.
Are you going to open the door, leave the door open so you can hear what I have to say?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I'm just going to go a little bit of a preamble so I can have Will come back to comment while he listens and gets his food gets his drink from the fridge. There is a bunch of shows in the past 6 months that are season 2s that Will and I, or in some cases just me, ignore. And I believe that in many ways it's the anime Kami-sama being like, yo, season 2's out. You kind of should give it a second shot, second chance. Take a look at it. So therefore, the winner of the Get On That Shit Award goes to season 2's giving us a second chance for a second look at these shows.
I think you're going really, really abstract with this particular award. Not even just picking out an anime that people need to get on, but rather like trends or at least suggestions that people should get on.
Or applies to us, right? I think The Witch from Mercury Season 2, Vinland Saga Season 2, Tsurune Season 2, and Birdie Wing Season 2. Those last two, Tsurune and
Did
Birdie
you say
Wing.
Witch from Mercury yet?
Yeah, I did. It was the first one. Those Tsurune Season 2 and Birdie Wing Season 2 were the ones that I think gave me inspiration for these choices. How's that ginger ale one?
It's flat.
It's flat.
It's not a soda.
Oh shit! It's not carbonated?
I lied. It's a carbonated drink.
Okay, there you go. So I think Tsurune is a what was it too strong?
That ginger is strong.
Oh, okay. I mean that appeals to me, man. Okay. So Tsurune I think is a show that Will and I have a lot of things that we actually do like about it, but we just didn't finish season 1.
I mean, I only watched 2 episodes.
Yeah, me too. I think
I literally just watched them like shoot the bow like 3 times. I think.
Hey, KyoAni did a good job.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It took like 2 episodes to show them like shooting the arrow. Like 3. It's not an arrow. They have a specific term for it, right? I don't know. I mean, like I didn't watch all of season 1, so
Wait, what's the
art of archery?
Yeah. It's like starts with T, right?
Tsurune.
So fuck, dude. I just realized what I did. Okay. Anyways, Tsurune we heard lots of good things about, and the score jumped significantly after season 2 finished airing. Birdie Wing got a lot of hype. The Wish from Mercury also have a lot of hype this time around.
Kudo.
That's
what it's called.
So I was way off base. Okay. Season 2s is usually a good time for people to watch season 1s, so then you can watch season 2. And I think this is Kami-sama telling us, hey, get on that shit, guys.
You did mention Vinland Saga as well, right?
Yes, I did. Wish from Mercury, Vinland Saga, Tsurune, Birdie Wing, in that order.
What about the little unknown but kind of known second season, not really second season of Ranking of Kings?
It's a spin-off.
Yeah. Oh, so that's a pass then, right?
Yes.
Come on, man.
Just like Konosuba, although I am slightly watching it.
Yeah. So on to the next one, which is the Curiosity Killed Neko-Chan Award. The show, the trend, or whatever it is that we just, knew it kind of existed, but we didn't really want to get into it. But in our own time, we decided, maybe I should check it out. Maybe I'll take a look and see what the fuck's going on here.
Only to just regret that choice. Wish we could get our life back, time back, whatever it is.
Yeah, I've got 2. Like, it's not even like a runner-up and winner. I think both of them just deserve to be on the pedestal of number 1. But I mean, you could be the arbiter here. Like, do you think that I should be separating them? There's got to be a number 1 and number 2.
We make our own fucking rules, Will. You can do whatever the fuck you want for all I care.
In the previous season of Winter 2023, there were 2 shows that I watched exactly 2 episodes of, which is Ayakishi Triangle and The Legendary Hero is Dead. Both of them, I only...
And it's not just because of the aftertaste. I mean, ugh.
Well, I mean, the grape one, right? The purple grape one.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that aftertaste. I'm talking about...
This one. The white grape is better. I'll tell you that. I can get it for you later as well.
Triangle? Really?
Ayakishi Triangle and The Legendary Hero is Dead. Do you know why I decided I was going to check them out?
So, Triangle, I know, is a Shonen Jump, right?
Yep,
Viz Media. The God is Dead one is the lolly one, right?
There is a lolly, yes.
Who is the god?
No. The lolly is in a different one. Another different, like, reincarnation power-up one.
Then which one am I thinking of?
Oh, no, it is, yes.
In green,
one.
Right?
Yes. Well, I don't know about green, but she's definitely a lolly.
And there's a church that kind of does very...
a lot of spikes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, what about them?
Do you know the reason why I watched both of them?
No.
The ecchi tag.
And how did that pan out for you?
It was probably like an hour and a half that I would never be able to get back, because not only was the ecchi, the ecchi.
Sorry.
I have to mute you for a minute there. Not only was the ecchi just not worth it.
Okay, we're gonna have to change that sound wave. My bad.
But they were just terrible shows. They were absolutely horse shit. God damn. I don't know.
Like mediocre,
I don't
mid
know
as fuck?
No, not even mid. They were just god awful. Like way below mid. I don't know if Ayakishi Triangle has been canceled by Shonen Jump yet. And I don't know what the fuck the future holds for, the Legendary Hero is Dead. But don't watch them. And if you did watch them, why? We gotta talk. Because neither of them were any good whatsoever. I think like the scores of them are like mid to low 6s. Fair. That's completely fair. It might even be lower in my book, but do not watch these 2 shows because the ecchi does not hold up and the plot far from it as well.
My no contest winner for Curiosity Killed Neko-Chan belongs to Anime Closet Cleanup pick Nobunaga Concerto. The fuck, man.
Was it really like Curiosity though, because you were kind of forced to watch it due to the way that we were doing our episode?
Except,
or did you? Or
both
was there
of
at
us
least,
like?
Was there at least? Because I think I picked it because, I mean, the score was high. There was a lot. There was enough people on there that would be like, this could be one of those little cult followings. But I think it was like That was just it. It was a very strong, close-knit, not necessarily easy to get into, like, following.
Like,
And
this
when
is not Kingdom, okay? This is not like the fandom from Kingdom. This is, even though it is historically based, quote-unquote, from a very, at least inspired from a very, very, very well-known Japanese historical figure. Also, as you said, I think it was like a 7.5 something. Very low in terms of member numbers, but just had a lot of, like, underground hype, if you will. So at least I bought the premise, or like, yeah, I'll go check it out. It sounds all right. Rather than, oh, I don't know anything about Endro, but sure, Jason, I'll see what's up. But Nobunaga Concerto, I just don't understand why people even like it. I don't think it's bad, but in many ways that makes it worse.
I think for you, it's like, I think you legitimately tried to explore every facet of the show and think, maybe it's the animation I like. No, not the animation. Maybe it's the plot. No, the plot also doesn't really, like, vibe with me either. Maybe the music could help, because Duke Concerto is in the name of the fucking title, right?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's no Healer Girl, Bochi the Rock, K-On, or any of those music-oriented shows. It's none of that. Also, like, its weird distortion of history is not inspired in terms of creativity, and did you
learn a lot about Oda Nobunaga?
You really need Wikipedia open next to you to kind of know.
That's okay. All right. Well, I guess that's why it makes sense to have it in this particular award then. That's like the outright winner for you.
Yes. No contest. Yeah.
Right. Now, the next one, which is something that we both really, really like, which is the Undo of Healer Award. Particularly for a manga, a web series, a Netflix show, whatever it may be. Something that we have watched, we did not like, and we're pleading for a studio, an executive, someone, a Kickstarter or whatnot, to please give this a chance, fix that shit, and give us an opportunity to properly enjoy this garbage in its fullest. I've got one outright winner, only one, and I don't know. I don't know.
Same one,
right? Should we say it on the count of three? Like 1, 2, 3. Say it.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and then
yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
My Home Hero.
Oh, we did it again. We did it with a raise for best moms of all time. Okay.
My runner-up is High Card, but I think it's like the super furthest away of a runner-up.
What would you do to undo My Home Hero? For me, very, very simple. Forget doing any further anime adaptations and just make
do
it
a live
action.
Absolutely. I was legit was just going to
just
say
a
that.
live action adaptation of My Home Hero, because it just does not work with the kind of voice acting and the animation style that they have for the current iteration by Tezuka Productions for My Home Hero. I think that in terms of a suspense thriller, silence is absolutely paramount, right? Especially the phone / cupboard, the wardrobe scene. You can't have silence a lot in anime.
You don't have to have silence, but there needs to be like no music, or it needs to be so eerily quiet, maybe except like breathing or like a heartbeat, maybe. And even then it's like pushing it to make it sound empty, but at the same time like nerve-wracking.
Like, imagine like this is not necessarily the best sort of like comparison, but like when you're playing like Fatal Frame or playing Silent Hill or any of those like J-horror games, a lot of times if you're walking through a corridor, especially like one of those classic like Japanese ryokan style corridors, and it's just footsteps, maybe a little creaking of the wood, you don't hear any music whatsoever, that works. It doesn't necessarily work in anime because you don't necessarily want your product to just have nothing. I get that you want to have at least full on immersion, but I feel that because the fact they put so much emphasis and effort into the immersion, it doesn't work. Sometimes they just do a little too much, and that's, I think, what caused My Home Hero to be such a failure. It wasn't just down to bad voice acting. It wasn't just down to bad animation. I think that the direction that the show was going through in terms of putting those sequences together with mismatching like atmospheric music was legitimately its biggest downfall. And that's something that you can easily fix if you were to do a live action and cut that shit out.
Yes. You really hit the nail on the head in terms of how I feel about it. I really do think live action, even though I really don't like using that as a excuse, avenue, it really only fits so much more appropriately as a live action. I would argue that the only reason why I have Hardcard on here as a very, very distant runner-up is because that one, in terms of bombasticness, kinetic energy, and just sheer, like, fantastical, modern era type of anime, makes it such that you can do things in my mind to alter it, to change the design, the direction of it, or the, like the plot of it, such that it will be like massively appealing. Whereas in My Home Hero, there's not much wiggle room that you can do to really maintain either the flow of the narrative or the plot, as well as retain its quote unquote seinen aura and atmosphere. It's just not possible. Can I be proven wrong? I want to be.
Yeah.
I just don't think I will be.
Yeah.
Unless if it's live action.
Yeah, I think live action is the way to go. But again,
like, do you think a show like Succession will be a good anime? Potentially, right?
Potentially,
if it's like,
but it's not like clear cut.
Yeah, or like
right?
Billions, like these kind of like executive like.
You can kind of see that sort of, because again, it's one of those things that is like so grounded in reality, because Billions is legitimately like based off of like real life hedge funds that exist in the world. It's not too hard to think that you could do an animated form of it. But I think with like My Home Hero, the thing with like suspense thrillers is that like they're very specific things that sort of garner your attention, that keep you on the edge of your seat. And without those things, like, you legitimately do not have a suspense thriller anymore.
I think when your suspension of disbelief is not there or is just gone, then you're done. It's game over. And when almost the first scene, even though I know exactly what they're implying, what they're saying, but my mind is not like focused or fixated or engrossed in what I'm seeing, and I'm just like tabbing on another screen looking at like what other seasonal anime I need to watch.
Well, to be fair, at that point you're just closing the screen and just opening up something else.
Yeah,
right? Like you just do not feel connected within that sense of immersion for My Home Hero.
And it's not like there's no eye candy. There isn't, but the weight of what is being discussed or what's happening in that diner in the opening scene is extremely serious, extremely important, and like is like needs to be addressed and rectified in modern society. But I just did not give any more of a fuck to those characters.
The saddest thing is that diner scene was probably the best scene in all of the anime that I've watched for My Home Hero.
Yeah, like his detective reading like knowledge is like not applicable in like the first 2 episodes. In fact, like I would say the mom is, or like the wife is, more of a psycho than like that needs to be institutionalized than almost all of the villains in the first 2 episodes.
It's like when you see those kinds of characters, you just think like, oh, they're probably used to this kind of thing, and therefore they're desensitized. Whereas, like you said, in the anime, it doesn't play out like that. It just plays like she's a desperate psychopath.
We just didn't buy it. And when a lot of people didn't buy it, but in the manga, we both bought it.
It's believable for sure.
It really just goes to show that animation is not the be-all, end-all. That doesn't always improve and reiterate on the manga source.
I certainly don't think that the adaptation would be boosting the manga sales. I mean, it's that thing again where it's like producing an anime that's so bad that people have to read the manga to get the juice.
Oh my god, what if they do season 2 of My Home Hero? And then we just like look at hear that in disbelief.
You'll be really fucked up. Imagine they announced season 2, but instead of doing it animated,
it's a live action. Yeah. Oh my god.
Like they realize their mistakes, but they don't want to start from the beginning again. So then they just decide, you know what? We're just gonna make an executive decision. Just start from here right now. Scrap the whole writing team from before. Scrap the animation team,
Dude.
and just do live action.
What if, like, for some weird reason, My Home Hero Season 1, the anime, is exclusive on Crunchyroll, and then Season 2, the live-action version, is exclusive on Netflix? I will...
That may
like,
be
Takagi-san did something like that, but I'm just saying, like, for My Home Hero...
How was it, actually? Takagi... So, the latest one, like, Season 3 was on High Dive.
Yeah.
The second one was on Netflix. The first one was on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
That's how it was, yeah. So where did they go from there then? Is the next one on Hulu? Disney Plus. Season 4 will be on Disney Plus.
And then it becomes a time-traveling murder mystery. You're welcome, Disney.
Yeah, you have to watch through not just Season 4, but you have to jump back and forth between all the different seasons.
Then all the different timelines. Then all of a sudden, Iron Man shows up with Spider-Man.
And not only that, not only you have the craziest fucking like Takagi X Marvel crossover, it's an interactive series.
Then there is a time skip, and you are in space.
And you have to watch it on cable TV.
No. What's that Apple VR goggle that's like 35?
The Vision Pro. That's not releasing. Perfect. Actually releases next year.
$3,500 Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh man, like okay, we may need to do like a separate kind of podcast just to talk about that bullshit. But you know, Apple, what y'all thinking?
But our next category, just like how you might say, guys, chill the fuck out. Let me explain to you guys why your tirade is kind of pointless. Our next award is the Guys Just Let Me Explain Award.
Now, this award goes to series that, you know, we may really like or are just curious about, but if anyone else were to find out that we were watching
or
this,
you walk in on us,
we just gotta be like, yeah, I can explain. Yeah, it's okay. Here. Let me tell you why I'm watching it. One clear-cut winner, and it's a little bit more on the wholesome side. It's not necessarily like straight up just degenerate, well, depending on who you are and what you think about my answer. Cafe Terrace and his goddesses.
Will, are you okay? Do I need to speak to the Shadow Council?
Yeah,
the Edge.
This shit I would never watch in public, but I just gotta know, is this cafe going to survive? Are the goddesses, aka the girls that live in this cafe, going to be able to vibe with the manager/owner, the new successor of this cafe?
Do they have unlimited pancakes? Are they 24 hours?
Yeah, how's their coffee now? Is their coffee gonna be any good?
Is it cold brew?
And also the fact is just like, you know, there's a lot of titties. Come on. What else am what else am I supposed to say?
Boobies.
Yeah.
Okay, so my runner up is actually, you know what? Fuck that. There is no runner up because that's actually a what do you call it? Like a
cop out?
Like cop, exactly. That's a cop out. But my winner is well, let's say you just entered the room and you can see the screen.
Are your pants still on?
Pants still on.
Okay.
I have my anime list open. On the anime lists, I am on the on hold tab, and then I go
which
to
page?
The on hold tab.
No, but which page of your on hold tab?
The whole list.
So
and I'm like, Will, let me explain.
You know what I mean? Because if you scroll to the bottom of your on hold list, it just reaches G, and then you scroll down again, and it gets to K.
Yeah,
and then
you're picking up what I'm putting down. Yes, exactly. I'm like, hey, Will, let me explain, guys. Will, all of you guys, look, listen. There's
because every 6 weeks, when it's at the beginning of a seasonal and when it's in the middle of a seasonal, you always say to me, "Oh my God, what am I going to do? This thing just never stops. This monster cannot be contained. I cannot control myself."
I went from like 60 something. Okay, it was like less than 20. And then somehow the past, like...
Do you remember the first time you put something on your on hold list?
I was super like pissed off and like conflicted about it. Yeah. 86 is on here. Galaxy Next Door, Attack on Titan, Beastars, Blue Lock. You know, I mean, Chainsaw Man. The list goes on and on, really. Devilman Crybaby, Honey and Clover, of course. High Score Girl, this was the Mob Psycho 3, it was My Clueless First Friend, Nodame Katabile, Nana, Ranking of Kings, and a myriad of other shows. That is the winner of the Guys Just Let Me Explain.
So explain it. Why do you have like 1,000 entries on your on hold list?
Because I have problems with
That's
attachment
good enough for
and
me.
abandonment.
There you go. That's enough for me. Wow, we really gonna talk about this after the episode. Like, you okay, Jason? Are things okay at home?
I'm never okay,
Never
Will.
okay. We're talking about some real heavy. It's anime, right? Now, the next award goes to the Thin Ice Award, or the y'all gotta cut this shit, or I'm gonna fucking lose it award.
Or we bench you, whatever, right? It is the trend anime manga thing within this podcast season that we're just like, fuck off, guys. Stop it.
I'm pretty sure that we both have different answers, but if we have the same answers, fucking wonderful. So let's start with you. Do you have a runner up and winner, or do you just have I have a
no
flat out
contest,
winner.
no
Okay.
contest winner. This thing has affected multiple shows throughout these 2 anime seasons, including, I'm only going to name 3 because there's too many to name. Uncle from Another World, Kubo-san, Nier Automata. Fucking COVID, man. Bro. Like, this shit ain't supposed to happen anymore. But unfortunately, the after effects of it, whether it is people of getting, unfortunately, like ill due to COVID having the delays, but you see, Will, that is only half of the Thin Ice Award. Even though they share the winning spot. Because the other half is informing the people of when the delay is over. And you might say, Jason, what if you don't know? What if it's an indefinite delay? I'm like, that's okay, because you don't know as well. But when you literally know when Uncle from Another World is going to be like reinstated on Netflix, or at least tell people, and don't just say, oh, we will be back. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Just let people know.
I gotta ask you this. Imagine that COVID did not stop production for Uncle Isekai. I'm using Uncle Isekai specifically.
Sure, yeah.
Do you think that for the Crunchyroll Awards, the 7th one, it would have won? Or do you think that Kaguya-sama would still have been the best comedy?
Kaguya-sama would have still been the best comedy just due to sheer hype.
Right. But do you think that at least it would have had a fighting chance for Uncle Isekai? Because, let's be real, you finished it, I finished it, and I fucking loved it.
I don't think it will.
Yeah.
But I think there will be more receptive feedback to probably ask for a season 2.
All right. So you kind of mentioned one of the series that I wanted to talk about, namely Nier Automata. The thing that I really, really do not want to see anymore are studios looking to games and thinking, you know what? We got to make more money off this.
Wait. Hold the phone. But what about Fate Stay Night?
Games, not visual novels. I'm going to keep, because then I will also be talking about Steins Gate, because Steins Gate was also a visual novel before it became an anime.
Persona is also pretty not great, right?
The Street Fighter anime was garbage.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about Pokemon because that's the only thing. Inazuma 11, I don't even give a fuck about that.
I would say Pokemon is not anime first, right?
No, it was a game franchise from Game
yeah,
Freaks in
yeah.
1995, and then the first
Yeah.
anime came out in 1998 or 1997. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
okay.
Like,
Okay.
I get that if it's like a multi-franchise kind of thing, like Metabots or Beyblade or like the 4-wheel drive one.
Or like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, like I get that, but I'm more talking about in recent times.
Right.
Right?
I mean, we live in a world when Ash is retired at 11.
Oh shit! What was that? That anime defense tower defense game that turned into an anime. I think you mentioned it literally in the previous episode.
No, we didn't. I was going to mention Arc Knights, though.
Yeah. I mean,
No, Doll's Front Line. I think they're both tower defense games, actually.
But you said Arc Knights was actually okay, whereas Doll's Front Line was
It's like a 6.21 or something.
Yeah.
But Arknights, I think due to the finale, they got a lot of people got blue balled. It got like a 7.2, but it was like a 7.8 for like pretty much all of its anime season.
And for me, like, the point still stands. Like, you already make way enough money from just selling merchandise, having people doing microtransactions on your games. Leave the anime out of it and just do adaptations or originals. I get why it exists, because of the fact that as a business, you want to be able to spread the wealth and look into
It's a
various
multimedia project, Will.
But Nier Automata was never a multimedia fucking project, right? Dragon Quest wasn't. Neither was Pokemon. But they all was like, you know what? Like, we're just going to make more money and get more eyes. It's just like a massive fucking marketing ploy. But Nier Automata, the game came out like 4 years ago.
First off, 100% agree, by the way. I just want to be very clear. I'm just trying to think of like devil's advocate examples that would like refute that. But in principle, guys.
Oh, never mind. 2017, 6 years ago for Nier Automata.
I would argue that a lot of shows that ends up coming from video game first, if the video game is very cinematic in quality, is already done better. I'm thinking more of like the Persona series with their anime adaptations, especially with Atlas, right?
That's the thing. RPGs work out great, right? And you would think that, like,
do you want a Final Fantasy VII?
Nier Automata is an RPG. Well, to be fair, I did also watch a lot of like the 3D movies, like Advent Children for FF7.
Okay, to be fair, Advent Children, because I have a soft spot for Advent Children because I think it looked pretty nice.
Yeah, but like Nier Automata just really irked me because I legitimately did not know who it was for. Was it for people who did not play the game? Was it for people who have started but haven't finished the game? Is it for people who have played multiple endings to the game? Because if you play multiple endings, you already know what the fuck's going to happen in the anime. And if you've only just played one playthrough or you never even played it, you have no idea what the fuck's going on in your Automata.
And let me say something, guys. Even if you get the voice actress from Violet Evergarden, she can only do so much, man. I mean, as a casting choice, that casting person gets top dollar, top notch like credit for that. But you're not gonna convince me to like stay for the rest of the anime season, even if you exclude COVID, to be like, oh yeah, like even though I really like Nier, I should probably like watch the anime to support it. Like, nah, son, no, not happening. Like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah. So quit making games in the anime. Like, I'm not even talking about visual novels here because that shit's already existed for a fucking long time. So I'm not talking to the VN people. I'm just talking straight video game, console game, turned into anime adaptations.
So here's the thing, Will. With Nier, at least, as an example, before we get on to our next award is, let's reincorporate COVID delays, right? Would you then just say, bro, let's just cancel it? Of course, there would be a lot of like behind the scenes stats or whatever we will not know.
I don't think as a business we have even seen like in the last like 10 years of an anime series that was like going halfway, and then all of a sudden production studio says, "Fuck it." They might have pulled a sequel. They might have pulled a part 2, and then just like, you know what, we're not going to do that anymore and move on to something else. Or like they might have like actually had something in play and then just scratched it. But I don't think anything has been canceled midway.
It's like sunk cost, right? Beyond a certain point.
Because at that point, yeah, exactly. You've already paid the money to the advertisers, the marketers, the licensors, as well as the animation studios to get your shit done. You might as well see it through, and then like once it's out there, hope for the best and move on to something else. I don't think anything has like legitimately got the red light halfway through. I could be wrong. I think it's a good time now to move on to the next award, which is the Akito Souma Award, or the biggest asshole / dickhead award. This goes out to, it could be a specific series, character, theme, trope, or something that's been happening in the industry.
Do you have a no contest winner?
Just uno. Well, actually, no, I got two.
I would say you go through all yours first, because mine might take a little bit of time.
The runner-up I have is a character, supporting character, but the character nonetheless.
Oh, wait, is it spoilers?
No, I think it was like in episode 1 or episode 2 that you already see how much
All
of an
right,
asshole they
fair
are.
game. Let's
They're
go.
not a villain, so I made that clear that we're not talking about villains here. We're just talking about somebody who's just a real piece of shit. Algard von Paletia from the Magical Revolution of the Reincarnate Lady, Princess and Genius Lady. The guy who decided to invite her to the prom, and but then actually ended up going off with someone else. And when everyone congregated to the hallway, he decides just to start spieling about, "You're not worthy of me. You did this. You did that. I invited her because you were so mean to her. Da 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 da. I'm not hearing anything you say. You are an evil doer. I am not talking to you." And then fucking reincarnated princess is like crying. Ugh.
No, that's Genius Lady.
Genius Lady starts crying, and then reincarnated princess flies in on her stupid broom and says, "Oh, I guess I'm gonna take her in now. I'm in love with you. Be in love with me." Fly off. What a wonderful way to exit a party.
A very popular event that usually happens around these like dating kind of sims and villainous kinds of isekais, but it's a very well done one of those. I think Mob Isekai, I think, is another one like a while back that also has that kind of very well known scene. I think the way that Genius Lady and Reincarnate Princess Genius Lady does it is just like very nothing bad about it. It's just done.
And the best part of it is the fact that like even his dad thinks he's a piece of shit.
You know what? I just love the whole frankness of it, right? Like some people might like the Genius Lady's father. You could imagine being like the stern person who's like, "Oh, you besmirched like the family name," but instead he's like, "Yo, daughter, I done goofed, yo. You don't deserve that." And she's like,
"No, it's also like Algard's dad, his father, the king, who's also just like, what the fuck are you doing,
and
you dumbass?"
And let's just say that there are certain people that you thought would be like joining the gang in terms of mocking everything, also turns out to be on the side of the Genius Lady that gets revealed later on. It's just like, yeah, dude is just a dick.
But that does not amount to how much of a dickhead / asshole as my winner for this award, which is the entire magistrate of Hell's Paradise.
Yeah?
Holy fuck. Can you imagine that we have people who are running our country coming in and saying, I want to live forever. I've found an island not too far away where we've sent our men and they've all died coming back. You're all criminals.
No. There was one person that came back, to be fair.
Yeah, well, person, really?
Not much of one. It's more of a husk. But really,
bro, like there are more flowers than human in that person. Come on.
I mean, definitely very floral for sure.
Like, y'all, all y'all criminals over here. Why don't you just
Why does that have to be
duke
British?
it out? Because I don't know. Like I'm doing a thing here. Why don't y'all just duke it out and just see who survives? Survivors, go to the island and bring back the elixir for me so I can live forever. Or if you try to do any funny business, we'll kill you. It's like, oh, what? Why? What the fuck? And like, I get it. It's great because it's that paradox of like Hell's Paradise. It's awesome that they do it that way, but you gotta really look at it from a real granular level and just be like, damn, this is an actual government that's running this fucking country.
Damn,
Whoa.
You are supposed to be the organization that knows the most about digital rights and copyright.
Yo, let's not get involved, right? We're talking about fictional governments here, not real life shit.
Yeah, okay.
Jesus, fucking oh, bro, we're not throwing that kind of shade. But to be fair, though, the fuck are y'all doing? What about you? Did you have just a straight out winner, or did you have anything else?
No contest winner. This time around, though, it is not one person or an organization or an entity.
It's an idea.
No, it's a collective group of people. Sometimes we are involved in that too. Okay?
Is it the people that use my anime list who vote way too early before an anime finishes?
No, that's more of a pet peeve,
Okay, right.
but it does not deserve to be associated with Akito Souma.
It's the people that voted for Oshinoko and put it to a 9.23 and dethroned.
It's petty, but also not at the level of Akito Souma.
Okay.
It is anime fanatics that decide to use their beliefs or vitriol based off of the plot beats of a certain show to kind of just throw shade and just cause toxic conversations.
So haters.
Yes.
Haters, trolls, scum of the earth.
Heavenly Delusion episode 2,
Oh, yes.
as well as Oshinoko episode 6. Which also, by the way, I don't know if you knew, but with Oshinoko episode 6, there has been a new development. We will probably get into that for 61 because I think it's an extremely important update. But long story short, the woman who accused the toxic hate has now received extremely bad backlash, and to the point where the Japanese media had to talk about it.
It's actually really disgusting because of the fact that, like, her comments about the episode were the fact that, wow, this is a series that is sort of sensationalizing a situation that relates very much to someone who is very close, so close, like legitimately their daughter, that they're profiting from it, they're gaining acclaim from it, and I don't sit well with it. And this is the person that was at the front end of social media abuse, and it is poetic as fuck because of the fact that, like, this is kind of just something you would not want to see, but, like, you also wouldn't have expected that the trolls are doing the exact same social abuse to her again. That is just fucking ridiculous.
At the end of the day, similarly, when we talked about that news story, my narrative and my opinion is it should be a venue platform to discuss that stuff.
Oh, just hearing that shit just really pisses me the fuck off.
Anyways, I'll just tell you. Will, do you actually know about this news story?
I mean, this is me hearing it new. But I also would not have been surprised that there are trolls legitimately, like, threatening and doxing this person.
So, we will talk 100%. I'm gonna push for the news story, and I don't think you will dispute that for episode 61. But since there'll be a no or
I'm not disputing it.
Oh, okay. Cool. But I'll just tell you the headline, okay? The Broadcasting Ethics and Program Improvement Organization in Japan has made a watchdog group on TV, Japanese TV, to say, yo, under the drama and anime section, basically Oshinoko's person that voiced, they didn't say names, but you can clearly, I mean, you can.
If you're keeping up to date with GAP, you would know what the fuck's been going on.
Yeah, she's gotten a lot of hate.
This is fucking vile, dude.
At least one viewer wrote in to complain about a toxic subset of a certain anime's fandom, and she has been now relentlessly cyberbullied, and it is just so fucking terrible.
That's something that I've always, like, hated, but, like, also felt so powerless, like, to even talk about in the first place, because trolling has existed as soon as the internet opened up, and even before the internet, there were, like, various different ways of just regular ass bullying, analog fucking, like, trolling and whatnot. But the fact that it's so easy to sit behind a keyboard, behind a computer, and just talk shit about somebody, and this is not even just talking shit. This is legitimately threatening someone's life, someone's safety, someone's sanity. And wow, like, that kind of just blows my my choice for this out of the water. Not to say that they're on the same level. They're two completely different things. One is very much, like, pertaining to anime and manga and whatnot. This is just, yo, IRL, real life people. Y'all gotta stop this shit. Because it's not good, not just for the anime, not just for you, but just for the entire fucking society itself. Because when you go about putting so much intense love and passion into something, that you do whatever it takes to demean, to dethrone, and to legitimately threaten somebody, you're not helping anyone here. In fact, you are actually creating a much larger shadow on a subculture that we are trying to push further amongst the norm, amongst the people that may or may not know much about anime and manga. But this may be the first thing that people see and be like, oh, wow, dude, anime fans are fucking disgusting.
It gone so bad that the voice actress for Ruby Hoshino, Yurie Ogoma, had to say, in quotes, I was able to observe her portrayal of the bit that depicted the gut punch feeling human experience. Watching that really made me think some things over. I think it was really meaningful to me at this point in my life to have to be learning about that world. Basically, if you read in between the lines, it's like her trying to basically tell the fans, y'all need to shut the fuck up, because the person that you're kind of like at the show that you're advocating for, who is like, I'm the voice actress for it, I'm telling you, I learned a lot from it. So, like, don't disrespect me, and therefore don't disrespect her. And the fact that I have to, like, come out and make this Japanese neutral kind of news reporter statement to basically tell y'all to calm the fuck down, it's just, like, the worst thing ever. The fact that we need to, like, govern everyone like this.
And to be fair, that's also why, like, every now and then you're going to be seeing reports of how societies, how governments, how organizations are going to try and police the internet, because look, we use the internet for a multitude of reasons, right? Whether it's an escape, whether it's seeking answers or resolutions, seeking comfort, disassociating from real life. I get that. But when the actions that you take on the internet start impacting the real life situations of the people that you are targeting, this is going way too far. And I think y'all gotta cut that shit. Like, you can disagree with her, but do not start saying things that legitimately threaten the safety and the sanity of someone who actually is personally impacted by what was on screen. Like, you have never ever walked a day in her shoes. Don't start talking about things that make it feel like you know more than her.
Yeah. And for people that want to throw shade at us for a certain comment that sometimes are somewhat, negative. For example, like, oh, Jason, don't you think character designers is a legitimate staff position? And yeah, sure, you're brushing it off as, well, if it's adapted from a manga.
Maybe, hey, Will, why are you hating on games turned into anime and shit? Like, what the fuck's wrong with that?
Yeah, except we don't fucking single out a designer even though we're like against the idea of it or the concept of it, we are not fucking actually name dropping a person and being like, you shut the fuck up, or like, you deserve to die or whatever, because we won't do that. Like, what the fuck, guys?
The internet is both a wonderful but also a disgusting place.
We live on there, for better or for worse,
yes.
Right? And we all will live on there in bigger capacity.
Without it, we would not be able to do this show.
And a lot of us are better for having the internet exist. However, that also doesn't mean that it's all rosy and happy-go-lucky. So the Akito Souma Award just goes to anime fandom in general these days.
Trolls, more specifically, right?
Or people that just think first, don't think first and act first.
They take things too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about Heavenly Delusions episode 2, but I think that like is a self-explanatory thing that we've already talked about.
That is just straight up like ignorance and stupidity that, for lack of a better word, like, fuck off. That's it. Like, just fuck off.
Just don't watch it if you don't like it. If you don't like Oshinoko, don't watch it.
Yeah.
Just don't go after people.
We're gonna. Oh man, like, I think I'm 4 drinks deep. You're about 2.5. We're gonna put a hold on all the vitriol and the anger that we have,
and just talk about Jason's dumb shit.
I am actually going to omit one of the awards, which is the worst phrase Jason used constantly, repeatedly, because, dude, there were so many episodes I could not get through all of them.
The Higurashi? We're gonna ignore the Jason Higurashi award?
The worst phrase that you constantly use. That one I'm taking out, but the Higurashi, which is the stupid error award, I got plenty of stuff.
We separated them?
Yes, because back then it was like, for lack of a better word, or like to make things even more blah, blah.
Ah, that's right. Yeah.
So now, on the other hand, I do have a couple of entries for the stupid error award for Jason, aka the Higurashi award. Now, I'm gonna take the high road and not include any of the ones where you kind of mispronounce directors.
No, I think that's fine.
Well, one, because I can't remember which ones you say, but there have been instances. But there are a lot of times that you
it's like real bad. Yeah,
you mix up a lot of singular and plural words. Like you'll say a lot of I is.
Yeah, I
they
think
is.
was
I
it
are.
death play I used?
That's legitimately a normal thing. But when you say I is or they are, they is, he are, like that's happened a lot. But the one that I really, really like is the fact that you haven't seemed to had much of a good grasp on the use of tenses, specifically not knowing when to use the word seek and sought.
Well, sought is past tense, seek is present tense.
And if we were to go back to the previous episode,
oh yeah, absolutely,
yeah,
no doubt. But like, English is not my first language. Will cut me some slack, right?
yeah, anime was your first language.
Yeah, absolutely.
Subtitles was your first language.
Yeah, fucking yeah. It's
oh, you can blame it on the fan subs. They taught you how to read and speak English.
My English education is brought to you by the Netflix subtitle team for English, okay? Specifically for anime.
We don't know anybody directly, so we're not going to be pointing any fingers. But Netflix, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Now, we've presented all the awards, both the serious-ish and the stupid-ish awards.
But the show ain't over, son.
This is the part where I'm going to let Jason take it away because, one, this is his section for this episode, but two, I got to go pee. So I will let Jason ramble, preamble, whatever he wants to do.
How about I give the premise, and then when you sit back down,
give me like a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Oh, shit. You need to pee that long? Okay.
I'm also going to grab a drink, too.
Okay. So every segment after the stupidish, well, the serious-ish, then the stupidish awards for any GAP season finale is kind of a quiz segment, a fun little segment that Will and I kind of decided to do kind of on a whim at first. Every other GAP finale, we would prepare a segment for the other co-host. In the past, I've done anime Kickstarters, true or false. I think Will did a Law of Ueki, kind of My Hero Academia superpower. I think there is one more that's like, I think the first one I did was about isekais, whether like such an isekai exists or not. And of course, the thing that really like stuck a knife in me and twisted it was last season finale. For season 4, episode number 48. Will decided to quiz me on certain locations and locales within certain animes. I think one that comes to mind a lot is the one about Chihayafuru and the temple that a lot of the main characters go to kind of pray before their big tournament. Another one that I kind of remember, I think, was a park where Garden of Words, the main character, kind of like conversed at. And I think it's Shinjuku. But basically, there is like a shit ton of locale geographic locations that I really fucking like got wrong. And Will kind of embarrassed me a lot.
To be fair, I did not embarrass you. I gave you multiple choice answers for it as well. It just so happened you were unlucky to pick the wrong ones. That was it. I didn't make it that hard, really.
I didn't like, told you to jump off the cliff. I just led you to the edge.
You mean I didn't tell you? No, I didn't told you.
Fucking okay. So I decided to prepare a quiz segment for Will.
And I also prepared a drink for you as well. You haven't already finished your grape drink. I decided to skip the other grape drink because I think you might enjoy the ginger one more, actually.
Okay. I appreciate it. So
it doesn't taste as sweet, even though there is still a fuck ton of sugar in it.
Will, did you know that we're both fathers?
What?
We are both buddy daddies.
Oh, right.
And our child is the Good Anime Palette Podcast. But do we actually know the Good Anime Palette Podcast very well? I guess we're going to have to find out, Will. I've prepared for you a series of questions in multiple choice about the podcast itself, himself, herself.
Oh, it's hilarious that you do this because I keep on riffing on you. Oh, you know this episode. You know that episode. Okay. Well.
And if you've noticed, since last season finale, I kind of said like, oh, I know what I'm going to do. And throughout the series, I'm sorry, not series, throughout the season, I kind of like dropped nuggets of like, maybe that's the right one. No, this is the right one. Kind of wish you could probably figure out that one with this episode title, whatnot. It's all to prepare you for this. So, Will, including this episode, episode number 60, how many episodes of GAP has been released? And you can either split it by EP, AD, and BP, or just the whole thing.
Okay. Wait.
Or choose. It's a choose your own adventure, Will.
Okay.
But I would prefer at least bare minimum the EP.
So we're including this one as well. So there is 62 episodes because not only did we have an episode 0, we also had a 47.5.
Perfect.
For BPs, are we including ones that have been released or not?
Only released.
Well, then we recorded BP 17 and know if it's out yet. So
Wait.
It's either 17 or 16 or 17.
So which one is it?
BP 16. I don't think 17's out yet. AD 12 is out though, so we do have 12 ADs. I know that one's for sure because that only just released last week.
So
we have 62 EPs, 16 BPs, and 12 ADs.
We have 17 released BPs.
Okay,
with
so
BP 18 coming in July 4th.
Right. So I was one off for that one.
But everything else, it's correct.
Yes. First one, mostly correct. Just one off for the other one.
How many different episodic formats for EPs do we have? 6, 8, 9, or 10? And please list them out if you can.
We got Gotta Watch Them All. We got anime series adaptation primers. We got closet cleanup. We got thematic analyses. We got seasonals. We've got there's one more, isn't there? So that's 5 right now. Genre and themes. I think.
Yep, genre. So what I did was, in case you put genre and themes together, which I thought was fair.
Yeah.
But I have like, all I did was like add one.
Are we including ADs into this? Because
nope. EPs.
EPs.
So you said Gotta Watch Them Alls. You said closet cleanup.
Yep.
You said thematic. You said genre. You said ASAP. What else?
Seasonals.
Yes.
Seasonal reviews.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 6 then, right?
1, 2, 3. Yep. Is there only 6?
At least recently there was. I'll stick with 6 because I can't think of any more.
There is 8.
What are the other 2? Shit.
7 if you include thematic and genre as one.
Right.
The other one is GAP retrospective for the anime year.
That hasn't been a new thing yet. That's only been 1 episode.
2 actually, but okay.
Okay. We had a full breakdown retrospective episode, which do not test me which episode it was.
Which episode was it?
49.
Very close. That was 51.
Okay,
but
right.
It wasn't the only one, Will. We also did 2020.
Oh shit! We did do that one.
Hindsight is 2020.
That counted? Okay.
Yep.
Fair enough. That does count. Okay. All right.
The one that we're missing is the episode type that we are currently recording.
All right. Okay. Oh, finales. Wow, fuck. Okay. I haven't been far off yet, though. I mean, what's the deviation here? 1 or 2? Like, what's the scope that you can give me in terms of like being off, like the actual exact answer?
It's not about how well you do. It's about embarrassing the fuck out of you, Will.
I mean, I haven't been too embarrassed.
No,
yet.
you're actually doing pretty good.
Okay.
Like legit. So
but it's only been 2 questions so far, though.
So seasonal anime analysis is kind of a thing that we do, and it's very popular, as it probably is for a lot of AniTubers, YouTubers, right?
Yep.
there is one seasonal analysis or review that is not a review, but a forecast. Which is the anime season, and bonus points, which EP number is it? Is it in spring, summer, winter, or fall?
It happened last year. We did review. I have a feeling it was done before I went off to Canada, so it was either fall or summer. I'm going to go with fall 2022.
Which episode would that be?
Fall 2022 would have been season 4. So, I'll just throw out a number. I'd say 39.
You're right about fall 2022. Episode 44.
Okay, that was far off then. But hey, at least I got it was fall 2022. Yes. I remember because it was legitimately like only a week or two before I had flown out for Canada, and I was gone for 2 whole months, during which time I also got COVID.
Right. So we're like at that time trying to like test out like how the forecast format works, which by the way, we should probably do like a hybrid of that at some point if like the timing doesn't work out. I think it worked out for us in terms of recording.
But there are some seasons where it's like 75% of the stuff is either in its first or second episode, and then there might be some that might not release for another week or two.
Absolutely.
So like I think,
but it's the only one that is
it has
like
happened actually in the last 2 seasons. There might have been like 1 or 2 series where it's like it hasn't been out yet, but there might have been an early release or something like that.
I think for argument, I think if I like go off of my recollection, only like a handful.
Legitimately, you can count on your hand. Yeah.
Right. Whereas the forecast one, it was the inverse, where like maybe 1 or 2 shows, if any, had the first episode, and everything else was like based off of the trailer or like the source of what we know.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I like this quiz so far.
So this next question is about GAP season finale. So according to our records, there is only one anime movie that has ever been chosen as either a runner-up or a winner, in this case, a runner-up, for either one of us for the best anime of that podcast season category. Which anime movie was it? I have clues in proceeding level of obviousness, but if you could guess.
Oh.
Only one. It was a runner-up. If you want clues, I can...
Is this a movie we watched together?
No. It was my pick. It occurred in season 2.
Very early on. So between 13 and 24. So we had fashion. We had... I think I can only remember fashion in that season. Shit. Give me like the more... start from the more obscure clue.
Okay. So, first off, it wasn't an AD or BP discussed.
I
it was
know what
an
it is.
EP.
I know what it is. It's a music based anime, right? It's not Symphogear. It's not Symphogear.
It's a spin-off with the main parent series having a new anime project recently with 3 movies and 3rd season.
I know which one it is. I just can't remember the name. Just say it. Just say it. I'll take the L for this one, but I think I know which one it is. I just can't remember the name for it.
Is there anything that you can give me before I reveal it that would give you more?
I just remember it being a music anime, and then there was a movie that came for it.
Liz and the Bluebird.
Yeah, that's it.
Slice of life music.
But it wasn't like I think Liz and the Bluebird is based off of like
Sound Euphonium.
Exactly, Euphonium. That's the one.
Because of Kyo Annie, I watched it.
So I knew which one it is, but I will take the L because I never actually named things. So.
I would say it's like half credit.
Yeah.
I think like you definitely. I'm convinced that you actually know. You just couldn't like. It's like tip of your tongue type thing.
Because there was a period throughout like season 2 and season 3 that you're just like, dude, Sun Euphonium, fucking good, fucking great. And I think there were points where you're like real giddy, like cheerleader mode for like, oh my god, there's a movie, it's coming out, it's so good. And I think it was not a friend of yours that was talking about it as well. I remember like there was definitely like a lot of like pented hype within you. They were like, this is gonna be lit. This is gonna be great. And I'm on the side being like, okay, what the fuck ever. I don't care. Like I never watched
No,
Bluebird.
that one's Review Starlight. That anime movie
okay.
that you're talking
Right.
about.
Because
Because
so it wasn't Starlight. I knew that wasn't the movie because I don't think there was because there were 3 seasons of it. And you showed me like
what, for Sound Euphonium?
the Starlight Review Starlight.
There's only 1 season.
1 season? I thought there were 3 seasons.
Nope.
What was the other one then? Anyways, yeah. So Sound Euphonium was the one I was thinking of, but I'll take the L because I'll take the half point at least.
What is our longest GAP episode, and how long in terms of minutes was it?
Season 4 finale episode 48. It was 3 hours and 12 minutes.
You're 1 minute off. It was 191 minutes. Wait. Hold on.
So that's 3 hours and 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was so close.
I said 1 minute off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so close. Can I take that though? I mean, that was the right episode, right?
Yes, that is the right episode. But what about second and third place?
Dude, come on, man.
No. This is bonus points.
Second, third
This is
place.
bonus points. There's no way for you to really know.
Okay, second and third place were these released in the last 2 seasons. So not included. So season 4 and season 5. It happened in that time span.
One is, yes.
Oh, I know which one. I know one of them is going to be. It's a Gotta Watch 'Em All. Gotta Watch 'Em All was one of them for sure.
Nope.
No.
Gotta watch them all. The first one that appears in terms of high time length is number 5 on the list.
Yeah.
With number 6 as well.
Okay.
Gotta watch them all 7 and gotta watch them all 5.
So what was second in terms of longest runtime for GAP?
GAP finale season 3.
Oh, okay. All right.
187 minutes.
Was the third one also a finale?
Nope.
Well, which one was that one?
Spring 2023 seasonal premieres.
Oh yeah, that one because that was a stacked season.
Yes.
I remember that one was fucking crazy. I mean, it's this season. So
171 minutes. Winter 2023 is 4th place, 170 minutes.
I think it makes sense because the last 2 seasons, like because it was like legit fall 2022 was when we did a retrospect. We did a preview, and then afterwards we went straight back into doing like proper watch, like 2-3 episodes of that season. And I don't know about winter, but spring I definitely watched a lot of shit, and so did you. And that really like got things going.
Now,
I think this may be the longest episode we've done because we're already at 3 hours.
If you could remember why those 2 seasonal premieres took longer, there is actually a legitimate reason that we both commented not only within the podcast but after the fact. Do you remember, perchance? It was something that wasn't in seasonal premieres, like
the first however many.
The first however many. But then we, for some reason, like we just did it like those 2-3 times. And that was one of the reasons why it was.
I actually do not remember, but I knew they were longer for a reason.
We had rejects.
Oh.
But there was one where we just shat on them rather than, we didn't talk about them because. And then we just went a long ass time about we didn't watch them because.
Here's the thing, like we slowly, like, I don't remember about the first couple of seasons, but we definitely started adding stuff. We were just like, these are the sequels we watched, and we would spend at least like a good 20-25 minutes on those because some of them were like really, really damn good.
And we didn't really focus a lot on the sequels, the ones that are very long in seasonal premieres.
Yeah. Like, fuck. Like, are we going to be talking more about like My Hero Academia season 5, season 6? Is season 6 even out?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, why?
Or do you want us to have to watch all those previous seasons just to catch up, just to tell you that you should probably watch this or not? Like, no.
Yeah.
I think Will and our opinion of, I think it's more interesting to talk about like the mid 7s, low 7s, or high 7s than like the obvious sequels or the high 8s and 9s, unless if like we have a very firm opinion of.
Right. I'm feeling pretty good. I've done well so far. On to the next question.
The next one is a true or false question. Will, this is about podcast music artists. True or false? For all of our themes, there was no repeats of a music artist yet.
False. We've definitely featured an artist over multiple seasons.
And which one is it?
Is it Oi? Ooyy?
Nope.
Bowtie?
Bowtie is the music name of Oi.
Okay, then I don't know. But I definitely know that we have featured an artist multiple times throughout the JP.
Is it the only one?
I think it might have been 2.
No, there's only one.
Okay.
Could you give me something like which season?
I
or
actually
if it's
do not remember, but I'm happy at least that I got the answer correct. But please do tell. Who have we featured multiple times, and what songs were they?
It only took place in the first season of GAP.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It is Wataboy. We used it twice.
Wataboy. Yeah, I actually follow him on Instagram.
We used the ED, What You Thinkin', and we also used it for the ADOP, Cali. It is the only instance so far where a repeat artist was used, but we will probably be using the same artist.
I like Wataboy. I like him a lot.
Side note, what is your favorite theme? Other than one that you said reminded you of an old YouTube channel, but it has not been revealed yet in terms of us using it.
Season 2 EP opening.
Which is?
I don't remember, but I remember the tune.
We'll get to that. So, did you know I made a huge blunder once about the EDs especially? In regards to AD 4, 5, and 6, I misspoke and miscredited the wrong ED theme. What is the name of that song that was miscredited?
I don't care because this is more on you than it is on me. So
did we rectify it?
We did.
Okay.
We did rectify it because I think you were going through a script halfway through and you're like, oh wait, no, this is the script from the previous season or the next season. This is actually yada yada yada.
Who rectified it?
You kind of just did it on your own because I never really keep track. I just edit the music. I never actually keep track of who we're representing in our episodes. You cut it yourself.
So the answer is I miscredited What You Thinkin', the instrumental version by Wataboy, and we said it was Sunset Dew by Lupus Nocte when it was Wataboy, and then I put a note in there, and then I used Lupus Nocte, which is what it should have been. Okay.
That's what happens when you copy and paste notes, I suppose. But
hey, shit happens,
right? Things happen.
Podcast season OP for season 3.
Season 3?
What?
Wow, we were talking almost 2 years ago then. Shit, okay.
So, you have choices. Multiple choice. Ninth Power by Henyao, Green Lights by Jazar, Glitterati by Fox Moro, Never or Right Now by FLCL, and No Cry by Fashion.
Dude, that's 5 choices.
All right, I'll take one out if you want.
But I mean, like, what's the question? You just listed some song names.
Which is the one for season 3 EPOP?
Yeah, Glitterati. What were the other 3?
Glitterati by Fox Moro, No Cry by Fashion, Green Lights by Jazar, and Ninth Power by Henyao.
It wasn't Jazar. It wasn't Jazar. I think Glitterati might have been used for a Henyao. I will go with Henyao.
That is incorrect. No Cry by Fashion is season 3.
Okay.
Your favorite EPOP for season 2 is Glitterati by Fox Moro. Never or Right Now, which is the one I eliminated, has yet to be revealed, even though we've used it for an episode or just to test around.
Right.
And Ninth Power is for season 4.
Wow, you're really growing like smaller and smaller and smaller in terms of like rather than going through themes, episodes. Now you're actually going into like specific 30-second moments of the GAP history. Okay.
All right, then how about I take an episode that you helmed of the whole 2002 anime retrospective, episode number 51. Will, you said that based off of your stats, there are 3 best animation studios that performed well as 3 worst animation studios, in your opinion. I have a choice of 6, and you rank them first, second, and third. You don't need to rank them first, second, and third, but if you do, that is like extra brownie points. Your choices are for...
I already know the top 3. I don't know about the bottom three, but the top three are Cloverworks, Wit Studio, and Ufotable.
Not correct.
Well, Wit Studio is definitely in there. I know
No.
Cloverworks is definitely in there.
Cloverworks is number 1, according to you.
No, Ufotable's there.
Nope.
Oh, Production IG.
Nope.
Oh. What are the other two then?
Mappa, you said was number 2. Studio Piero, you said was number 3.
Oh, because of the fucking... Oh, because of fucking Bleach. Doesn't your Blood War. Oh, because I think my number... Yeah, actually, no, you're right. It was, I think I did it by studio average and then crossing it over with how many productions they had.
Because we split what... Because we were going off... You were going off of stats. I was going off of, like, what I thought. I said things like OLM due to summertime render, Komi can't communicate, things like that. But you said, statistically speaking, it's Cloverworks first, Mappa second, and Studio Piero third.
Yeah.
What about the performing worst 3, bottom 3? You can choose from 5.
Okay.
You don't have to list first, second, third. If you can, if you want to, you could. I have Project Number 9, Shaft, Doga Kobo, Kintema Citrus, and Passione.
Passione, Kinema Citrus, and what was the first one you mentioned?
Project Number 9.
That one.
So Passione was correct. Was number 1 according to you.
Yep.
Doga Kobo was number 2.
Okay.
Shaft was number 3.
What did Shaft make that was so bad? Oh, was it Ruby?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think they also had another one that was very mid, I think.
There was also some series that like some studios made that legitimately no one really knew about, and they were like 5.65s or whatnot. It was hard to keep track.
I think there was one that's like Chibi, like some cat
Chibi,
thing.
Chibi was Wit Studio.
Was that Chikawa?
Chicago was Wit Studio.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
That's what fucked it. Yeah, that's why it wasn't top 3 because Chikawa fucked up Wit Studio. I have to double check. I'm pretty sure it's Wit Studio. All right, next question. How many more questions do you have now?
Just one more.
This actually could be this actually will be the longest episode. All right, cool. It will beat out 3 hours and 11 minutes. But don't worry, there are timestamps, so you can always just skip to whichever section you want to listen to.
I left the most petty shit for last, Will. You ready?
Okay.
So, what gifts did I give you for your birthday?
You gave me 2 copies of different JoJo art books. One which was like pretty easy to find. The other one you had to legitimately coordinate with people in Japan to be able to send it over.
Saitama, I think, yeah.
And then they also sent me 2 books, one of which was Atomic Galaxy and Night is Short Walk on Girl.
Correct. Do you know when I gave them to you? It's roughly the same time as your birthday. No shit.
Yeah,
but like, what were we talking on that recording? Just one of the 2.
Well, I mean, they're in March for both of them. So earlier this year, March, that was like 2 months ago. So that would have been like 8 episodes back. I don't know. I actually do not remember what we were talking about that day.
For JoJo, it was at your house.
Yeah,
Your
that was
parents'
that.
house.
Yeah, that was when I remember like my dog barking that day as well, and
We bitched about Spike's family on that day.
That was in the midst of COVID as well, so that's why we're doing it in my place.
Mm-hmm.
What were we talking about for the ones when you were sending me for Tomoyuki, not Tomoyuki, Tomoko, Tomoki, whatever it is, for Nana Short Walking Girl and for Atomic Galaxy. Because that only happened like 2-3 months. That only happened 3 months ago.
It was either Slice of Life or ASAP 2.
Okay.
I actually didn't.
ASAP 2.
Yeah.
It was ASAP 2.
It probably is.
Because if we had included it into Slice of Life, that episode could have potentially been the longest episode. Because that was not a short episode either.
What gifts did you give me on my birthdays? And that is the end of our segment for the Good Anime
Look,
Palette.
it's not my
finale.
fault that the episodes have not fallen on your birthday yet, all right? We can look into season 6.
Nothing but love for you, Will.
I'm just looking into season 6 now, all right? So
Okay, for real though, you did very well for the quiz.
yes.
I'm actually quite like happy that you actually knew. Of course, I did have a lot more dumber questions that I was just I
Did
cut.
you have? Wait, did you have one more? Do you have one? We might as well. We've already ran past the longest episode we have. Why the fuck not?
No, but some of them are just so dumb.
Just throw one. Just choose one. I legitimately
Okay.
whilst I'm talking and
So-
riffing and whatnot, just pick whatever you want.
So originally, I was going to put all of the episodes, ADs, BPs in a hat. We draw it, and I will prove to you. But then I realized, if I just quote unquote study it beforehand, but you were left in the dark, that is super unfair. Or even if I don't, how would you know? So I was like, that's fucking dumb as shit. But if you want one more question,
Yeah, I'll take one.
the
Why
most
not?
obscure bullshit question, I did cross it out. Which EDs was not used as an instrumental version, aka during the show notes, if you have always paid very diligent, kind of attention
They do the timestamps
and
and
detail,
all that,
exactly, where I do not say instrumental version. I Don't Mind by Particle House, What You Thinkin' by Wataboy, Salamanca by Sarah the Instrumentalist.
Ooh, I don't think you would have neglected to throw in the instrumental for I Don't Mind. I'm gonna go with Salamanca.
And why is that?
Just gut reaction, really.
Is there a reason why Salamanca is the odd one out?
Because none other than the fact that that's just my answer, really.
It's a trick question because Salamanca was never an ED. It was a break music.
Ah, okay.
But yes, I Don't Mind the instrumental version by Particle House, and What You Think in the instrumental version by Wataboy.
Right.
There was also multiple.
Well, I picked the one that legitimately didn't fit because the other two you actually did say instrumental. Then, all right,
Yes.
cool.
There you go.
That sort of.
But I thought it
worked.
was hella dumb to say
that sort of worked. That kind of actually worked. Nice. I'm not that GAP illiterate. I know what's going on.
Oh yeah, well, just name an
You also do know. Whatever happens now doesn't
Yeah,
really
exactly.
add
Yeah, I know,
anything
I know,
because
I know.
now we've now reached the end of season 5. Thank you all so much for listening to all of our episodes, and if not all our episodes, at least some of what we've been doing. We wanted to make sure that we always try and put out interesting, fucking illuminating, and also just exciting content for you. We talk about anime, manga. We talk about sometimes visual novels, very rarely visual novels, but at the same
No,
time,
you mean never light novels. Visual novels, maybe.
we
right?
talk more about light novel adaptations than we do talk about visual novel adaptations.
True that.
Because of the fact that a lot of the visual novel adaptations that came out in 2004, 2005. That's when Steins Gate and fucking Fate Stay Night came out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Either that or you should play Doki Doki Literature Club.
which please don't. But
No, you totally should. But
it's been a fun ride. But do not worry because we still have so much more content, especially now that midway through this episode, Jason's like, we should talk about food and anime. We should talk about gourmet anime.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm all fucking for it.
We have confirmed, for the most part, a lot of the content that we will go over for season 6 will, I think, episode 69, due to today being on June 9th, is a very interesting, appropriate episode, right? Although whether or not we will do it on 69 or not for that topic.
69 is going to be hot and steamy for sure.
It was either that or 70, because I think the timing of it all.
Which means, of course, with the new season means new music, both for the EP opening and the endings, break musics for every episode kind of format that we do, ADs, BPs, everything, new content, new discussions, new heated discussions that we will have as well, I'm sure.
Is there anything that you're kind of looking forward to based off of currently what we have on the list?
I'm actually very interested to hear what your thoughts are on JoJo Part 5.
I see.
Because historically, a lot of people would have put, granted, because it was, before Part 6 came out, Part 5 was the hot shit, and I absolutely loved it. But hearing your discussion about Part 4 has started swaying me more into that direction, because now that I think about it too, Part 4 was lit.
Yeah.
So I do want to hear whether you feel that part 5 still continues that, like, oh, I am actually very invested into JoJo, or if perhaps the, you know what, nah,
season 4 is a one and done type of exception, right?
Exactly, yeah. Like, is was it just the fact that, like, it was a very close knit environment? You also had certain characters that you really, really liked. I don't know if you might have that same experience in part 5, but part 5 was still like a personal favorite for me.
I am interested to hear what you have to say about the SAO spinoffs like GGO as well as Alicization. For you gotta watch them all. Right?
Did you watch any of Alicization?
No.
But you have a lot of friends to tell you is good.
Yes.
Or it's better.
Like, I think War of the Underworlds is still quote unquote Alicization, right?
Yes, Alicization, War of the Underworlds, part 1, part 2. I think there's 2 parts to it.
Yeah, so the first part was like, oh, it's actually legitly good. And then the other one was like, holy, what the fuck? And then Progressive was like, guys, the fuck you're on this bandwagon. Come on, come in. So legit, and these people I trust in terms of their opinion. So it would be interesting to see what your take on it is.
Yep.
I think the other last thing I'll say is to riff off of the retrospective, we're doing a redux.
Yep.
I'll just say that. So we will be
Season 6 is going to be packed with theme breakdowns, director analyses. We're going to be continuing the Gotta Watch 'Em Alls and the closet cleanups.
and the ADs.
We're also probably going to be starting off next season, if not the first episode, then the second episode, of how close I've been to be at least trying to dethrone Jason from his long-standing chain of winning seasonal bets. I think at the very... At least right now, I am only 0.05 or 0.056 away.
Nope.
It's changed. It's 0.08 now.
7.
That's still close enough.
You have a 7.77. I have a 7.84.
I am begging to everybody here, please downvote Oshinoko. Please bring it down to an 8.8. Please.
And that, Will's plea, rounds out the last segment, last part of season 5 of the Good Anime Palette podcast. Thank you, everyone, young and old, whatever pronouns you want to associate with 2D or 3D beings or AI. Thank you for listening to season 5. Fret not, as Will mentioned, 2 weeks from now we're starting season 6 right away, so it's not like we have anywhere to go, nor would we want it to be anything else. As such, it's time to retire the season themes. Will, take it away.
You will be listening to these songs for the very, very last time, but don't worry. You know, if you
Don't stall, dude.
if you really, really, really enjoyed this music, don't worry.
Wait, how really do you? How many reallys? Is it really, really good? Or
I said 3 times. So it was really, really, really.
You can always reach us through our email, gapalette@gmail.com, GAPALETTE, all lowercase, all one word, using the handle @PaletteGood. That's capital P and capital G, all one word on Twitter. And also through our JP Discord server using the invite link in the show description. Shout out to a particular person that joined recently that kind of got into some GL discussions with me. It was awesome.
You're fucking awesome.
We talked, like DM'd each other. It was pretty dope because we kind of went.
Have y'all shared your Yuri collections yet or no?
Bro, Yuri.
Not even started
Yuri
yet, right?
street cred for both of us is kindred spirits, bro.
Right. Keep the credits rolling. Go.
We have a website. We encourage you to check it out. www.goodanimepalette.com. All lowercase, all one word. Music credits for this episode. Will, do you want to take it?
The intro was brought to you by In Year by Hasten, with the break music Bowtie by Oi, which is OOYY, and the outro is the instrumental version of I Don't Mind by Particle House. All music is courtesy of Epidemic Sounds, which is through www.epidemicsound.com. If you are interested in using their service, there's a referral link that you can find in the show description. Also on our website, you can also enjoy all their music on whatever platform you use, whether it is Google Music, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever it is.
Terms and conditions do apply, though.
Yeah, thank you for closing it out. So, unfortunately, all the music that I mentioned will be the last time you hear it for this season because we are closing out Season 5, but do not worry. Season 6 will be coming out in 2 weeks' time, barring any exceptions, because COVID's still a thing, and I'll be traveling in like 2-3 weeks' time to go off to Japan, because I think we may need to do a BP or an AD, Jason, where I bring back anime/Japanese themed snacks and drinks for us to review for an episode.
I didn't know we're running dry on content, that we have to do this.
No, but I do want to hear your thoughts on One Piece coffee. I do want to hear your thoughts on Demon Slayer potato chips, which you can actually buy in Hong Kong. You don't have to buy in Japan.
Go with Donkey, right? You can probably get it
exactly.
in Donkey.
Donkey.
Do you think I can get One Piece coffee in Donkey? Probably, right?
Absolutely. You can absolutely get it. It may contain milk, though. It will probably have milk in it.
I mean, I'm not a pussy. Only my stomach is and my intestines is.
To be fair, I actually do need to re-up on lactase pills, because I am deathly lactose intolerant, so... Anyways, thank y'all very much for listening to today's episode. I know that we have now been riffing off of random One Piece Demon Slayer confectionaries for the past 2 minutes, but I don't care. Like,
wait, do you want to round this out to 3:30? Do you think we can actually drag this out in a legitimate way, or do we have to like bail out prematurely?
No, I'm fine. Look, okay. As much as I always wanted episodes to be like within 2 hours, or at the very most 2.5 hours, we've been doing pretty well.
We've been doing pretty well, to be fair.
And like 2 hours, 10 minutes, I'll take that. 2 hours, 29 minutes, I'll take that.
So if we go by like episode length and we rank them, unless if it is seasonal premieres
or finales,
the Gotta Watch Them Alls that were high in terms of run length, there's a reason why. For example, the end of the Monogatari series.
That was GAWEA 4 or 5.
Or 6 or 7, right?
Yeah.
No, it's 7 and 5.
Yeah, no, because those... it was legitimately like the final season of Monogatari, and I remember that we just went in on, like, not just talking about what we had watched, but everything that had happened from beginning to end, and just wrapping the whole Monogatari series all together. I think at that point you were still on part 3, like the first half. Yeah, you were on part 3, season 1 at that point. I don't think you had gotten to part 2 yet for season 3.
I just finished Stardust Crusaders.
Okay, I was a cur off then, but.
Yeah, I think that was the time when I went off of the Jotaro.
So I got Gunga Online, I've got Progressive, I've got Alicization and War of the Worlds, which is part of Alicization.
You got Ordinal Scale as well.
Ordinal Scale, that's the other one too. So
which I gave a 5.
So I've got at least like 7 curs and like 2 or 3 movies to watch.
Yeah, I think the next Gotta Watch Them All is you watching the Ordinal Scale, Gun Gale Online, and the Progressive film. Yeah. Then it's Alicization all the way.
We haven't even thought about what I'm going to be doing afterwards, because by the time I'm done with all that shit, you're not even done with JoJo yet. Or just about, right?
One Gotta Watch Them All away from finishing up to the end of Stone Ocean. We did talk about that. For me, we said, do we want to reveal like my potential next one?
No, I mean, like we just riff, honestly.
What do you mean? Oh, okay.
It's
I mean,
like,
we talked about
what could
for me, it was
watch?
Bungo Stray Dogs. For you, we said like Railgun was a potential choice.
I mean, I could throw like a
we said Natsume, but then we were like, how are you gonna?
I could throw. Yeah, Natsume would be.
But how would you even? Oh, it's just more slice of life.
Yeah, good point there. I mean, this is also the SOL king right here telling me that might not be the best thing to talk about on an anime podcast.
I mean, it's a great thing, but not as a Gotta Watch Them All.
I probably got to sit down and properly condense everything. Wait, there's like 9 books, right? Into like nine seasons.
Yeah, and like multiple movies and specials. I mean, would you be interested in like a Sound Euphonium, like a KyoAni type deal? I mean, what's another one that has like multiple seasons? I mean, that is non-shonen based.
What's the one which is the singing girls that are slamming a spaceship into trees and mountains?
What, Sinful Gear?
There's at least 3 seasons of that.
No,
right?
there's 5, but yeah, who's counting at this point, right?
Look, the possibilities are endless here. The best thing that you all can do is just throw in a suggestion. Think about a series that has not been mentioned during the GAP.
One Piece.
I'm up to like 1,000 chapters on the manga.
Well, it's time to start on episode 1 of the anime. Don't do it, please. Don't do it.
25,000 minutes of.
Don't fucking do it.
What's the stipulation?
Gintama, don't do Gintama either, please. No.
But I'm also like not that far. Well, yeah, I'm still far out. I'm like 300 episodes in. I still got another 400 episodes to go. That's not start from Gintama from the beginning, but that's the same thing with like the other show. It will just be comedy and that's it. But it's comedy that fits within the world of Gintama. I don't.
Did you ever watch Kuroko no Basket?
I watched like 3 episodes.
Maybe like a
sports. The first adversary shows up, and that's about it.
Maybe like a sports anime might not be a bad idea.
Slam Dunk.
I thought about that legit. Like, was it
that actually may work?
like 100 eps? Yeah.
Because here's the thing.
The first movie, I think we call it the first movie.
We are legitimately in the last minute right now, but I've never watched any of Slam Dunk, and since it seems to be after One Piece the hottest movie right now.
Well, I guess that choice is a slam dunk. Yeah, boy!
And we are going to close out today's episode with a complete 3-point from the halfway line by saying goodbye to everyone for Season 5, and we will see everybody at the beginning of Season 6. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good day, good afternoon, or good evening, and we will catch you all very, very soon. No peace from Jason. Fair enough.